Alrighty, folks. How am I coming through? How am I coming through, everybody? Is it working? Are we alive? Are we seeing the mic from PA? I don't have any lights, so this is rear lighting. Oh no. How is it happening? Am I super choppy or no? Okay, we might need to slightly change the. There we go. There we go. God damn it. Smooth as butter. Better. Okay, good. I see you maybe close the blinds. Oh, here we can close them at least a little bit. That'll be better. And I can hold on. I just need a tiny bit of light in the front. That's too much. That's a little better. Okay, we are on portable units. Welcome in everybody to the Central Committee stream. We are live a mere 53 minutes late, which is honestly pretty impressive. You know, if I'm being completely honest with myself, it's very impressive of me to be. Volume is a little low. How about now? How about now, chat? Or is it too loud? Average mic start time, not true. I started at 7 a.m. yesterday, so the way averages work is that when I do it correctly once, it's now correct always. Welcome on in, everybody. Wow, what a day. Mic monitoring is weird, super aggressive noise gate. That's whatever, as long as you can hear me. Is it like clipping me a little bit? It's like dead when you aren't talking. Yeah, that's okay. The hissing sound is not from the mic. It's from the it is from the laptop cooling fan going insane. Because I've had this laptop in a book bag for a year. So the fact that it's working at all is pretty impressive. Do I get the top 3 political streamer treatment? Absolutely, chat. Absolutely. Bless you. Can you move the mic to the opposite side of the fan? Oh, it's far away. It's far away. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They definitely can. The Platner. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Oh my God, I'm on the Graham Platner train now, chat. I'm on the Graham Platner train. I'm completely pro Graham Platner, guys. Graham Platner called himself a communist, dismissed all police as bastards, and said rural white Americans actually are racist and stupid, according to now deleted posts. Let's fucking what my goat. As you can see, this computer has not been used in a while because it is acting up whenever I click on any website. Also, it's Windows 10, so I need to update it to Windows 11. What are you laughing at? Me? Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. No, you don't do it. Lay your fears to rest. I got older and became a communist. Deleted post show main Senate hopefuls raw views on politics, war, and police. God, he's fucking great. All right, all you fucking pussies who were like, I can't believe he was blah, blah, blah. All right, you got your guy. You got your edgy online bro. Where are you at? Where are you fucking at? You better support him. You better support him. No, in all seriousness, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? We're just gonna have random shit pop in. Oh, we are so cooked. We are so cooked. I'll never... Still waiting for the DSA endorsement? Oh, that's not happening. That's probably not gonna happen. But who gives a shit? Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for giving me... for helping me stream in the portable mic situation. I got older and became a communist. Deleted post show main Senate hopefuls raw views on politics. This is so fucking based. Based? As we all say here. I can't spell incred. Oh my God. Incred. Oh my God. Oh no. The keyboard. Oh no. Okay. Jesus. All right. I may need to get a new portable streaming setup. I've had this one for a couple years. I've ridden it into the ground and I think it's suffering a bit. It's just picking up a fan when you talk, but only when you talk because it seems you have a noise floor. Yes, I'm sorry, chat. The fan is the laptop going insane, trying to make sure that there's enough cooling because it's old. Incredible. No Discord notification? What are you talking about? I sent a Discord notification, you fool. You liar. You son of a... Does it sound like the space shuttle is about to launch? No. I don't know why is it coming through really loud, Vio? Put your laptop on a tray of ice water. I may not put it into the water, but that's not the worst idea I've ever heard. Oh, it's fine. You guys are being actual audio perverts.
Yeah, they're being...
I just came. Where the hell are you? I don't want to tell someone where I am when they just came. Ew. No. Do not come, exactly. Total victory. Hassan Piker says his dog was not wearing its electronic collar on October 7th, 2025. Video evidence now confirms that the dog was wearing an AirTag collar without an electronic collar. Therefore, the electronic collar could not have caused Hassan's dog to yelp on October 7th. Case closed. Oh, fuck. I'm not logged in on Twitter. God damn it. All right, hold on. Let me log in on Twitter. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why is everything so annoying? Oh, what? This is... Oh, fuck. No. All right, anyway. I think OBS is using the laptop's mic rather than the actual mic. No, it isn't. No, it's not. I don't think the mic sounds fine to me. It's just not a Shure SF7. It is not. It's just a fan. You're going to have to accept the shitty fan. Are you going to talk about Asmongold malding about me? Wait, he malded about me? Do I have noise removal turned on in the Wavelength software? Probably should at this point. No, I do not. It's off. Mike, could you expand on why DSA won't endorse Platner? Well, probably because he hasn't sought their endorsement. It's an automatic wait if you get Mold Man to maul about. Wait, he mauled about me? It's actually pretty impressive to be a malder about someone who doesn't even care / notice. It's actually crazy to be a malder about someone who doesn't care / notice. He's such a fucking pussy. All I did is ask him if he likes Hitler, and he mauled. Well, no, he said that. So the chat messages we covered yesterday from the young Republicans, where they said how they love Hitler, and then he was like, if you guys think this is a joke, you're gonna have a bad time in the next 5 to 15 years. And I was like, why? What are you gonna do, Asmongold? What are you gonna do? You're gonna mauled over anime tits again? Like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna sick my fans on you. Like, what is he gonna do? I'm gonna show you how long a human being can survive without taking a bath. Hassan tweet going viral. You're mad because she's 100% right. By the way, chat, cancelization failure. Cancelization failure. Oh, God, these losers, they tried so hard and they failed anyway. And nobody fucking cares at all. Okay, Asmod and Roach follower. The only people who say fake laugh tend to be... That's a DGG talking point. Oh, no. Oh, no. Straighter raid. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's kind of a shame Destiny's banned, so you can't see his fans. Asmongold. Oh. All right, hold on. Let's see the first follows. 2017, we got the Red Bull, then Shroud. What went wrong? Where did you become brain rotted? I don't know these creators. But that wasn't brain rot yet, I don't think. I mean, it was, but when did you become super brain rotted? I feel like I should know who this is, but I don't. Hassan, then Valk, then Will, then AOC. Interesting. Okay. Huh. When did he follow me? Just now? No, he followed me a long time ago. Oh, that was election week. Queso Tectone me and then Majority Report? How do you like queso and then go to Tectone? Oh, okay. Okay. I think this guy just might be a little bit mentally ill. Maybe just a tiny bit. I know, guys. You're gonna have to accept the fan spinning noises. I apologize, but the laptop it's struggling to make sure that everything is working great. Do I need the CNN town hall with Bernie and AOC? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But what I really want to talk about is how based Graham Platner is. Graham Platner, a Marine veteran turned oyster farmer who is now rising Democratic Senate candidate in Maine, once described himself as a communist, dismissed all police as bastards, and said rural white Americans actually are racist and stupid. That's the only one that I think is like problematic. That's the only one. Whenever you say that's the type of stuff that's bad as a politician, the cops as bastards, no one gives a fuck. All right. The post in some ways underscore Platner's reputation as an anti-establishment outsider who with unapologetically left-wing views. I think the one thing is like anti-police sentiment is very widespread. It is as long as you're like, listen, the cops killed a black man and at the time I was pissed. I'm a normal human. And I don't censor every word I say like a politician. If you want somebody who's a fake politician, vote for Janet Mills. You'll get more of the fucking same. But now that I'm running for office, I understand I need to be more responsible with my words. You know, I don't think that all rural white Americans are actually racist and stupid, but some of them are. And do you want a politician that blows smoke up your ass 24/7, or do you want somebody who speaks the truth? Some people are racist and stupid. That's the best way to handle this. It's just jig what everybody else, or zig what everyone else wants you to zag. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm a good little boy. Then they'll just pound you on it, and you'll feel uncomfortable the whole time. You just need to be like, brush it off. Brush it off. Be like, listen, it's the internet now. We all made dumb posts. Who gives a shit? Are you going to talk about internet posts, or are you going to talk about how I'm going to make your health care work for you? Do you want your health care, or do you care about my internet posts? Donald Trump is president. Are we going to pretend that internet posts matter? Like, come on, let's stop. Like, that's the only strat. And I do think it does work. Now, we'll see how he reacts. You might have to do a minor apology. Like, listen, sorry I said that. I was in the heat of the moment. You know, I think a lot of Americans shared that moment when they saw an innocent man murdered in cold blood in front of them, and they thought, what's going on with our police? You know, I want to make sure it's not that hard. One thing I saw was the problem was he used the R word. We all used to use the R word. Some people still do. I don't use it anymore. I changed my mind. Again, this is like the way you handle this shit. By the way, I personally haven't. I think I've used it once or twice on stream where I was like, and then I was like, I don't like that. And that was 6 years ago or something. And I was like, you know what? The R slur is really cringe. We shouldn't do that. Like, it's one of those things where I don't like it. I don't like that. That's gross. And we change our vocabulary over time. If I was in high school in 2002, from 1998 to 2002, what do you think people talk like back then? Luckily, we didn't have Twitter. We didn't have fucking Twitter back then. Thank fucking God. There's a correct use for the R word. It's when something is outdated. It fits perfectly with reactionary movements. It just means slow down, right? Or, you could say the aircraft was retarded by the parachute. Like, that's the correct use of the word, okay? But if you're calling someone that, it's obviously offensive. And you could say something as a fire retardant. Like, these are acceptable uses of the word, but generally calling someone in it is just fucking lame. All right, let's keep moving. Most of the posts were made 5 years ago. And by the way, if you're somebody who hears me say this and you're like, no, we need to cancel this man. I told you he was a bad guy. It's like, who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? Oh my God, I can't believe the guy from rural Maine posted, and these posts are actually based. I mean, I'm sorry, this makes me like him more. In an interview with CNN on Tuesday, Platner disavowed his post, saying they came from a time when he felt disillusioned and angry and expressed those emotions online. He says his criticism of right rural Americans and the police and his political odds do not reflect where he is and what he stands for today. That's very much me fucking around on the internet, he told CNN. I don't want people to see me for who I was on my worst internet comment, or even, frankly, who I was on my best internet comment. I don't think any of that is indicative of who I am today, really. Exactly. Good job. That's exactly what you should say. He said he deleted the post recently because he no longer wanted to be associated. Oh no, he should have deleted them. Oh no, bro. Bro, you should have deleted them earlier. What is this? Basic shit. First thing you do when you go launch your campaign for office is you go through all your posts. You delete them all. Come on. And a now deleted Reddit comment from 2021. Platner responded to a thread about people becoming more conservative as they age by saying, I got older and became a communist. Based? Based? The comment was made on the subreddit Anti-Work, a far-left forum for those who want to end work. Based? God, he's so cool. In another Reddit post that year, Platner reflected on his life after his military service, saying he was a vegetable-growing, psychedelics-taking socialist these days. Oh, fuck. Yes! Legalize mushrooms. Legalize the shroom. God, he's so cool. I mean, if you don't like this guy, what's wrong with you? He's cooler than like half of you. Uncritical support to this man now. A vegetable-growing, psychedelics-taking socialist these days. After the war, I've pretty much stopped believing in any of the patriotic nonsense that got me there in the first place, and I'm a firm believer that the best thing a person could do is help their neighbors and live a loving life. Oh my God, I hate, like, oh wow, how lame. Like, who gives a fuck? Based. Based. Still got the guns, though. I don't trust the fascists to act politely. What? Come on! Yes! Oh, sorry, I'm yelling too loudly. This guy is so great. Come on. All right. In his interview with CNN, Platner wanted to reassure voters, I'm not a communist. I'm not a socialist. I own a small business. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Okay, now he's saying he's not a socialist. Probably because the polls say being a socialist is bad. And you like, and a lot of politicians, and this is so wrong, but a lot of politicians get polling done. And then they get these questions that are like, are you a socialist? And people go like, no, I don't know. Yes, 35%, no, 45%. I don't know the rest. Okay. And they go like, well, being a socialist isn't popular, so I probably shouldn't say that. And it's like, no, you dumb fuck. Be authentic. Be authentic. Be authentic. Don't be a pussy. People like authenticity. That's it. You could be a socialist. Bernie Sanders proves it. People go like, I like Bernie. He might be a socialist, but that guy is a good guy and he cares about me. They don't give a fuck because they don't really know what socialism is. I mean, half the socialists I meet don't know what socialism is. So who gives a shit? Have conviction. Own your shit. Exactly. Okay. But that's my take. Platner entered the race in August to challenge Republican Senator Susan Collins, saying he's not fooled by this fake charade of Collins' deliberations and moderation, and he's running to fight for working people and topple the oligarchy that's destroying our country. Come on! BE hates anything U.S. leftists have. Well, BE just thinks that America will fall if the left is defeated, which is like, it's almost one of the dumbest takes you can have, because I don't know. I really think people should study World War II for real. Like, I know you haven't studied World War II if you have not. If you think like America becoming uber fascist is going to make it instantly fall, you're dumb as fuck. In fact, it means places like Argentina that just got $40 billion to prop up Milei, dumbass fuck, are going to become they're going to become the battlegrounds of American imperialism, dummy. Okay, the primary field for Democratic, like they're literally doing to reinforce my point. Donald Trump just announced today that he's going to be launching CIA attacks against Venezuela. He said that today. So congratulations, Bada Panada. You're getting what you want, fascist America. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. The primary field for the Democratic nomination includes Janet Mills, the state's popular 77-year-old governor, who announced this week she was seeking the nomination. She would be the oldest person ever elected as a first-term U.S. senator. A former Marine infantryman who later served as an Army National Guard soldier and private security contractor, Platner has quickly emerged as a fundraising force in the main Senate race, bringing in more than $4 million in the weeks after announcing his candidacy. His momentum has been fueled in part by a high-profile endorsement from Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who appeared with Platner at a Labor Day rally in Portland. He attracted national attention from progressive organizations, online left-wing influencers, and grassroots Democrats highly supportive of his outspoken economic populism. That is correct. They're actively sabotaging their own military readiness and doing dumb shit like canceling electronic tanks. Guys, oh my Lord in heaven, please. Save me from internet people's brains. Please, Lord in heaven. Holy fucking hell. Jesus Christ. You did Concast to BA? I have no idea what that means, dude. All right. On his Reddit, Platner didn't identify himself by name, but he shared biographical details, including military service, age, occupation, and residence in Maine. With the account dated back to 2009, most of his many incendiary comments reviewed by CNN were posted around 2021. Some of his harshest rhetoric was directed at law enforcement and threats about police shootings and nationwide protests that followed the 2020 murder of George Floyd. Okay, I better see all the people who are going, I don't like Graham. But look at this. This is great. For a reason, Mainers aren't big fans of cops. Nobody is. Nobody fucking is. I mean, people are who are like super bootlickers. But if somebody's a fan of a cop, like they're already right wing, you know? And many times people are like, they understand, they believe that we need police, but they also understand that police are probably out of control. They have nuanced opinions. Like, if there's anything that people have nuanced opinions on the most in America, surprisingly, it's cops. Now, they love the military. Oh, they want to suck every military member's cock. They want to walk around and go, thank you for your service. That's true about America. That's 80% of Americans are like that. In one deleted comment in a thread about a black Army lieutenant who was held at gunpoint and pepper sprayed by police during a traffic stop, one Reddit user wrote, "Bastards, cops are bastards." Platner replied, "All of them, in fact." Platner also frequently waited on police violence, arguing that misconduct was a problem that extends deep into the profession as a whole, and rejecting claims of accidental shootings. And after incidents such as the killing of Minneapolis black man Dante Wright, writing, "Fuck these cops." I could honestly say that this is me just being a whole asshole on the internet, Platner told CNN this week. I have an immense amount of friends who are police officers. They're not all bastards because they're literally buddies of mine. In another since removed, I don't like that response, but that's fine. In another since removed post for 2020, Platner responded to a thread titled "White people aren't as racist or stupid as Trump thinks" by writing, "Living in rural white America, I'm afraid to tell you they actually are." Oh no, that's his worst post. AOC had a good thing she said on CNN like yesterday where she was talking about, I don't give a shit if you're MAGA, I'm going to get you healthcare. Now, listen, I don't think you should kiss people's asses, but I think deplorables comments are generally bad ideas for politicians, okay? It's generally a bad idea. Attack politicians, not voters. Because voters can change their mind on a dime. It doesn't fucking matter. They're not really connected to this shit. This was before he was a politician. Yeah, I know. Mike, my feed has been exploding with anti-Claudia propaganda criticizing her about the recent floods. Have you seen this shit? Yes, it's the CIA on the fascist website. Like, calm down. She's doing great. I'm also a white guy, and I don't think I'm racist, he said. I don't believe that. I'm sure I was just angry on the internet about the state of things back then. When one Reddit post in 2021 about Maine's vote to block a power transmission project between the U.S. and Canada, Platner responded sharply to a commenter from Canada questioning the result. I have to ask, and I mean this in the most charitable ways, but are you R-worded? Every single one of us who's been on the name, every single one of us who has been on the internet has either said that or thought it, okay? I don't use the R slur. I try not to, because I don't like it. I don't like using the R word. But, I mean, come on. Asmongold malds at me. Come on. I would be a saint if I didn't have this thought after listening to an Asmongold comment. You know what I mean? I'm not a saint, unfortunately. Read the comments on r/main. CNN found Graham Platner's Reddit account where he posted on anti-work, called himself a communist, dismissed all police as bastards, said rural white Americans actually are racist and stupid. We happen to be fighting this out right as Mills enters the race. So interesting. The Schumer Bucks are coming into play already. If nothing is going to happen after young Republican staffers were caught flying swastikas in their office, then spare me the pearl clutching over this shit. That's the best answer. That's the best answer. In another post in 2010, Platner took aim at musician Ted Nugent, a conservative activist. As a combat veteran, that motherfucker makes me want to puke when he spews his warmongering macho bullshit. Suck a dick, Ted. To be fair, Platner told CNN, I'm not really regretful of that one. Bro, isn't this so much more fun? Isn't this so much more fun than being a fucking pussy ass like, did I offend you? Oh, I'm so sorry of my problematic language. Like, who's having fun with that? Like, come on.
Actually, guys, I just want to apologize because I offended people by saying that cops are bastards.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, come on. This is a man after my own heart. Like, he's winning me over. His leaks are winning me over. Come on. Okay. We should have to eat the pain because you C words and Massachusetts couldn't act like adults. Fuck off and die and leave Maine out of your capitalist fantasies. What a Chad. What an absolute Chad. My main goal in life, chat, I've talked about this before, that there's two types of politicians that interface with the left. There are sympathizers and there are opportunists, okay? An opportunist is someone who doesn't believe any of this left-wing shit and is just trying to take advantage of the grassroots for their own advancement. Okay, that's an opportunist. But then there are people that are politicians or in power, and they are fucking socialists. They are fucking communists. They are people that are with us, but they understand that to fly into power, like to serve inside any of these positions, they have to hide their power level. They have to fly under the radar. And you can see what they believe based on their actions and what they do. Okay. And I'm sorry, but these leaks, I want to give him more of the benefit of the doubt. It makes me go like, okay, listen, he wants to win the election to get into power. Would I rather win the election by using some rhetoric and have somebody who sympathizes with me in power? Or do I want somebody who just plows ahead straight and just says everything exactly as he thinks with no subtlety or rhetoric or persuasive ability? Like, obviously you want someone who's persuasive to win. So anybody being like, I can't believe you're not saying this now, is an idiot. The project has been a flashpoint in Maine where nearly 60% of voters opposed it at 2021 referendum, with critics arguing it would cut through undeveloped forest land, offer little benefit to Maine residents, and primarily serve to transmit electricity from Canada to Massachusetts. Platner repeatedly used the word R-worded to insult other Reddit users, including one in a deleted comment that began, I don't want to be excessively insulting here, but I mean, chat, I have done this where I said, do you have a learning disability? Do you have reading comprehension problems? Are you on a PIP right now? Like, I have done this. I'm guilty. I've done this. I've done this before. I'm sorry. I don't know that I've said the R word. Maybe I have even, but I've done something similar to this. How can we not support it? This is so fucking funny. You should test this Twitch conspiracy out sometimes, Mike. What's this?
Pay attention to this number right here. The start of this clip, she is at 715 viewers, okay?
Lurkers, I'm gonna ask you to come out of lurk once again to type something in my chat, because if we go back up to 800 again, I'm gonna be like, hey.
So the idea is that if you're not typing in chat, that eventually Twitch will not count you as a viewer. Viewership will not suddenly spike, or unless you get a rate.
What are we saying? I don't know, whatever you want.
Jumps to 722. Jumps to 770.
My chat was like this all the time.
Nice.
This is actually basically what it looks like to watch a queso stream. Watching a queso stream. We're at 960 people. What the f is Twitch doing?
And I've noticed this from multiple different people on the platform. Like, that she is not the only person that has posted a clip like this. This is just the person that went the most viral with it. This is a problem. And Twitch has like said, oh no, we're not discounting lurkers. But if multiple people can be sharing clips like this, like, there's something going on. And it's very
No, I know. I'm usually like, right now, since I just started my stream like less than an hour ago, that won't work that well. Give it an hour or two and it will. I just started my stream less than an hour ago, so this is not the best time to do this. I should have known where this was going and told you that. But near the end of the stream, I'm usually about 800 viewers less than I actually have, which is very fucking annoying, but it is what it is. 800 is a lot. Because Hassan hasn't gone on that point. Actually, I know Hassan has gone live, ironically, because a lot of people who are watching me but lurking will click the announcement to open up a tab for Hassan, and that'll make my viewership spike 500 people. In fact, I'll see if it happens today, but like, that's literally what happens. See how many people are saying caught? So like these people are not being counted as viewers of mine, but they're like they open a Hassan tab when Hassan goes live, and then Twitch goes, oh, they are here. And then over the next like half hour to an hour, people start leaving to go watch Hassan's stream. Like that's just how it goes. Because I've been live for 5 hours, and now Hassan's live. You want to watch the next guy in your train, and I usually am done by that point. So like that's just how it works. What if I'm using Chatterito? Does it count me if I'm chatting here? I don't know. That's actually a really good question. Anyway, let's go back to this incredibly based. You guys, you distracted me. This is going to be a YouTube video, you assholes. This was going to be a YouTube video. Now the editors have to go back and edit. We were having a really based Graham Platner's based section of the stream, and you distracted me. God forbid they do their jobs. Okay, first of all, I just want to say something. Having a job on the internet is incredibly hard. If you think about it, it's like I have complete freedom. I have no boss. I decide what I want to do and what I want to talk about every hour of the day. I have thousands of people that say that I'm smart to me on a daily basis, but occasionally I have to click around on the computer. I want to say this. Streaming is the easiest job that has ever existed in the history of humanity. It is the easiest job that has ever existed in the history of humanity. Disagree, CEO is easier? Yeah, CEO is pretty fucking easy. I'm talking about actual job, not just like being filling a capitalist position where you don't do literally anything. Like, we watched a video the other day where Jeff Bezos said that he only made 4 decisions a day, and he was done by noon. And by the way, he sleeps 9 hours a day. So he says he doesn't make any meetings before 10 a.m. because he likes to putter around. And then he says, I make all my high IQ decisions by noon. He's the laziest motherfucker I've ever seen. How many hours of research go into each hours of streaming? I would say for me, I'm unique as a streamer in that politics streamer in that I actually care about politics and think about it all the time. And I actually read books and listen to podcasts and listen to speeches and do research when I'm not live. By the way, I'm not at home, but I just got Noam Chomsky's book that he wrote with Nathan Robinson. They sent me an autographed copy. So I'm going to have Nathan on probably. I got you. I go from you to Hassan to Caroline most days. First of all, incredibly good pipeline. That's honestly what I do. If I'm watching Twitch that day, that's my pipeline. Or I will also watch, I also watch VO, of course. Like, come on. Actually, I go to VO after you guys. And then if I'm just like, if it's like around 4 p.m., 5 p.m., if I'm still watching Twitch, then I'll watch Hassan. And on the weekends, in the morning, I probably would say that I watch Denims more than anyone else in the morning. And then the afternoon is VO. And then the evening is Hassan, and then night is if I'm watching Caroline. That's like, and then there's occasionally like a bunch of other people sprinkled in there, like Austin Show, obviously. Liv Agar. I'll watch the Majority Report. There's many other people, but Will, Maple Takes, Yagopnik. I love the Deep Rogram boys. I've occasionally watched some of Wubby. I've watched Northern Lion. I watched a streamer called Quill18, who's cool. Freda, obviously. I've watched some Sean. Struggle 4 is good. That's most of the time. Big love for Quill18. Oh, I also watched occasionally. I'll watch some LSV. Although I think LSV is more. I don't know what his politics strike me as like Democrat. But maybe I'm wrong. LSV is a legendary magic. LSV gives libertarian. He could be like libertarian adjacent Democrat, but maybe not. I'm not totally sure. He's never said anything that pings me the wrong way. What's your take on Queso? He seems like a nice guy. Oh, obviously Caseytron. Like, come on. The queen. Like, come on. She's hanging out with me during TwitchCon. Like, come on. Mike, I want to join DSA. I've tried. I emailed my local chapter, but unfortunately they haven't responded yet. What do I do? I would take a look and see if they have a website or Facebook. Turkish Hacker Islam is here. Oh, no. Okay. Chat, we are going back to talking about Platner so the editors have a coherent section so they can put this all together. All right, we're back. Okay. The project has been a flashpoint in Maine where nearly 60% of voters opposed it at the 2021 referendum, with critics arguing it would cut through undeveloped forest land, offer little benefit to Maine residents, and primarily serve to transmit electricity from Canada to Massachusetts. Platner repeatedly used the word to insult other Reddit users, including in one deleted comment that began, "I don't want to be excessively insulting here, but are you R-worded? Traitors, fucking morons, a worthless pussy." In other comments, Platner voiced frustration over his military service in Iraq and Afghanistan. He spoke candidly about his combat experience, reshaped his politics. Writing in 2021 on the subreddit Socialist RA, a self-described anti-capitalist left firearms education forum that says it is unaffiliated with the Socialist Rifle Association, he wrote that his years in uniform had left him disillusioned with America's wars and the country itself. "My time in America's imperial wars definitely radicalized me further, and I'm significantly more left today than I was back then. It is difficult to see all the horror as well as all the grift and corruption and not find the entire thing utterly bankrupt. I did used to love America, or at least the idea of it, but these days I'm pretty disgusted by it all. It becomes increasingly clear that the wars were a waste of our time and dead friends / violence we committed was all for naught," he added. Platner told CNN he no longer feels the same disillusionment with America he once expressed online, though he remains very angry still about the wars I had to fight in and what I had to take part in. "But that does not mean he's not patriotic," he said. "I actually love the place that I live and I love the people around me. And I do actually believe firmly in the idea that we as Americans have a lot in common and we can be the thing that we want to be, the thing that we claim to be." Platner says he believes in some of the ideas, if not the rhetoric he posted years ago. For example, he still condemns the conduct of January 6 rioters. On his Reddit account in 2021, he expressed harsh views of other veterans and service members who took part in the attack in the U.S. Capitol. Are we sure he's not a mic watcher? Are we absolutely sure he's not a mic watcher? Are we absolutely sure? How the fuck is he not? How the fuck is he not? Like, he's saying all the shit I was saying. Like, literally. Because Hassan was doing this thing where he's like, "I don't believe the police should use violence on January 6 rioters because I don't believe police should use violence ever." And I was like, they should have used more. They should have used more. They were justified. He expressed harsh views of other veterans and service members who took part in attacking the U.S. Capitol, condemning them as traitors, fucking morons, fucking pussies, and a worthless pussy for supporting what he described as a coup attempt. He wrote mockingly in January 2021, "My coup attempt failed, so now I'm going to say I didn't really mean it. Please be nice to me. My life is in shambles after I tried to overthrow the democratically elected government." In another post in 2010, Platner took aim at musician Ted Nugent, a conservative activist. "As a combat veteran, that motherfucker makes me want to puke when he spews his warmongering macho bullshit. Suck a dick, Ted." To be fair, Platner told CNN, "I'm not really regretful of that one." I think having me on the broadcast right now might be not gonna happen, chat, because I'm obviously the guy that represents all the shit that's like not exactly copacetic for most politicians. So maybe, I mean, I did just have a socialist governor candidate on from Wisconsin, and it did go really well. So maybe I could try to get him on. But let me just say, you know what? I think he handled it completely correctly. I don't think that I have any problem with that. And I think that the way he ended it is fucking hilarious. And if this is what Democrats think is gonna win, they're dead fucking wrong. Also, based! Fucking based! I'm a kid, I don't have a job, and I don't have a car, so what can I do? Look for YDSA chapters. YDSA for like, if you're like college age. Do they think this will make people not like him? I think the main things that he said that are kind of like not great is that he said a lot of rural Americans are racist and stupid. And he said, I think using the R slur is generally not smart for a politician to do. I think he said he was a communist, which based. But I think generally people have a negative view of communism, much more so than socialism. So those psychedelic taking socialists, honestly, he should legalize magic mushrooms is a great fucking platform plank. If you're trying to be a radical, legalizing magic mushrooms definitely, or, you know, is definitely a good plank. No one cares about any of that shit. I don't think they do, personally. He also said all cops are bastards, which, you know, based. The panopticon internet. Yeah, I know. I think the best way to handle this kind of stuff is to just generally go, we've all made dumb posts on the internet. Do you think that all of us should be judged by our dumbest post on the internet? No. The question is, what do you believe now? What do you stand for? And what are you going to do? Janet Mills is 77 fucking years old. Susan Collins is Donald Trump's footstool. If that's what you want, vote for the same. That's the politics we've had for 40 fucking years. If you want a guy who's young and honest, and sometimes maybe I pop off a little bit harder than I meant to, make your choice. And if you choose one of them, don't fucking complain to me. Don't complain to anyone because you chose the status quo. Like, that's the way you need to go. And that's why Donald Trump won as well, because he said that kind of shit. And people were like, you know what? The status quo sucks. Fuck it. I think all of us need to stand against the invasion. All right, I want to watch the Curtis Silwa is so funny. Like, honestly, Curtis is such a regime guy. So the reason why China has such an advantage is because communism is the status quo, in the sense of, like, the Communist Party of China is the party that controls China. So, like, if you're a person who's socially oriented, which is a lot of people, you just kind of get acculturated into, like, a pro-socialist milieu. But if you were an American, you would be a pro-capitalist. Like, you're socially oriented. So what is, like, acceptable is what you orient yourself toward. And they are what we call regime guys. So they're people who would be conservative, but they live in a socialist state. So they're actually socialists. They love socialism. Curtis Silwa is that type of person. If he was in China, he would be running around with the CPC flag, and he'd be like, he would be going crazy with it. It's sorry, I keep saying Silwa. It's Sliwa. Sorry, chat.
Let me tell you straight up, the billionaires are not going to determine who the next mayor of New York City is. Let the people decide. I trust people. I don't trust billionaires. I don't trust the professional political class. They are not.
This is what I love. Like, I think of Curtis Sliwa, as an actual Republican voter. This is what I talk about when I'm like, oh, you know, there are right-wing politicians and there are right-wing voters. And, like, right-wing voters don't know what they're fucking voting for, right? Like, the Republican Party is the party of pure billionaire interest with no leavening whatsoever. It is like grinding poverty and liquidate the poor. Okay, that's what you're supporting. You're supporting the power of the billionaires as a Republican. How the fuck are you a Republican then, man? And the answer is about 45% of Republicans just have no fucking idea what they're doing. They have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Going to choose the mayor. Let the people decide. If they choose Zohran Mandami, I'm not running away. Like Andrew Cuomo said, oh, if he becomes mayor, I'm going to run to Florida. I stay. I improve. I don't move. I was born in New York. They tried to kill me in New York. The Gattis and Gambino shot me 5 times with hollow point bullets in June of 1992. And even when I survived, I never had armed security after that. Today, I walk into your studios here. I have armed security with me, former NYPD cops. Why? Because I wouldn't take the payout from the billionaires to drop out.
How much did they offer you? I saw you on the news a few weeks ago say that. You was like, if one more billionaire calls me and offers me money to drop out, I'm going to record the call and put it out.
They'll be talking to Alvin Bragg, the DA.
How much did they offer you?
$10 million. With Jeeves, stretch limo, chauffeur, no-show job. Eric got the same offer.
What you polling at? Like, what, 17%? 30%?
Excuse me?
What are you polling at right now?
15%.
About 15, 17%.
Yeah.
I'd have took that $10 million.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Man, there ain't no price.
Because you can take it and put it back in the community.
Of course he got it. You
so
know
you
he
think
was
that's the reason
playing.
why Eric dropped out?
He was playing The Price is Right. You know, Bob Barker's old show, The Price is Right. Finally, he got his price. And he was one and done. Let's face it. He was auditioning all that time. Like Monty Hall, let's make a deal. Door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. He never thought that he would continue being mayor, so he was trying to segue.
Okay, you have to understand that this is called charisma. This is called charisma. His net worth is 500 to 600K. We stand a working class king. Okay, calm down. If you have $500,000, you're not working class anymore. You are well to do. Now, it's New York City, so, you know, it's not like he's not rich in New York, but he's well-to-do. Basically, if you could survive, like if you literally are not feeling direct coercion, like you have to work, but you're not feeling like coercion that you might starve if you lose your job for 6 months, then you're well-to-do. You're still in the working class, but you're a more privileged member. If that $500,000 includes your residence these days, it's not that great. I didn't say it was that great. I just said he's not poor. If you are making money off of not making money off capital accrual, you are working class. I would actually go far as to say, as long as the majority of your income it comes from labor, then you are of the working class. But really, it doesn't matter. Let me just say this, like there are people that are literal capitalists who are class traders, and there are millions of people that are proletarians that are class traders. What class you are is not as important as what your political actions are in relation to those classes. Now, obviously, we want to have the working class lead its own liberation, and the proletarians lead their own, and them to become for whom society is functioning. It's not the only question you ask. Is what class somebody is. Fuck, this is funny.
Weigh himself out. Me? No way.
How much do you think he got? He came on this show on Thursday, said he was not dropping out, and then he dropped out that Sunday.
Man, how many times? Charlamagne, how many times did he lie to you before? He told you, oh, you're my number one favorite morning program. I listen to him on other morning programs. He repeated that same mantra. Typical politician. And every host and hostess gets stroked. Oh, yeah, Eric Adams, the mayor said, we're his favorite morning show. You know, that guy wasn't even listening to your show. He's too busy recovering from the break of dawn. You're not till 4 in the morning.
How much you think he got, though? How much you think he got?
Oh, I know that they got up to about 10 mil, so he probably spiced it up. Oh, he's taken care of. Trust me. He's not in jail where he belongs because he's a crook.
Sliwa being based again. God, everybody's just killing it today. Everybody's killing it today. Oh, God. So how's my favorite botted streamer? Mike, can you go over Zohran's Fox News interview? Fuck it, let's do it. You know, can I just say my laptop, knock on wood, it's hanging in there. It's hanging in there. Okay, where's the full interview? Is this it?
On to New York. You want to be the mayor of New York City, which...
All right, what are the comments? She's trying to hide that she likes him. This guy is clearly a communist, wanting policies that help working Americans. Get this socialism out of here. I want a politician that will give massive tax cuts to billionaires and $20 billion bailouts to foreign leaders. I haven't been a Mamdani fan, mainly because he's just offering free stuff, but this was a great interview. I liked his demeanor and straightforward answers. Guys, this country, if we had a real socialist leader, if we had our own Claudia, they would have a 75% approval rating. Like, if we had FDR, if we had our 21st century FDR, they would rule like a fucking god king. Like, I'm sorry, but I think people don't understand that people really want the country to function well. And if we had somebody who came in and actually executed, people would have their fucking portrait in every home. They just want free stuff. Literally shit my dad says. They're killing me. They're killing me, guys. They're killing me.
You know, last night I chat GPT'd, where is the capitalist and global finance center of the world? And it said New York City, which made me feel good as someone who loves New York City. Is that a moniker that you're proud of and one that you want to continue for this city?
We should be proud of it, and I will also say that that's one thing you have in common with Andrew Cuomo, because he also uses ChatGPT to answer many questions, including how to actually resolve the housing crisis in the city. And It's time that we are not only proud of us being the financial capital, the cultural capital, but also we should make it a capital of where work.
Oh, God. Like, can we be normal for a bit? Like, I feel like there's one thing that happens in many left-wing spaces, which is like, where everybody is like, they're doing, I don't know how else to put this. I'm on the spectrum, I think, so I get to say this, which is like, they do autistic pattern recognition where they're like, they look at somebody doing some sort of political rhetoric and they're like, oh, this actually means they're going to betray us, and it actually means that this is worthless, that I shouldn't care, and I don't want to fall in love with this man because I've been burned before and he's actually a Zionist. He's a Zionist, Zohran. He's Zohran. And they start having what I would call unstable crash outs. Okay? Now, I think it's totally fine to be skeptical of politicians. In fact, you should be. However, if the people that are seen as aligning with you lose every election, then people that are sympathetic to you will not support even better politicians because they say, well, even if somebody who's like you but of a calm demeanor and charismatic loses, why would somebody who is even more radical win? Like, you have this faith that everybody's already convinced to your, not only about your political beliefs and your analysis, but also in that they want somebody who's even more unabashed or even more raw. And it's like, can we establish that they even like, they would vote for socialists at all? Can we calm down with our schizo overreactions? And the thing about Zohran and Graham Platner is they're flawed individuals. Welcome to the real world. It's not the revolution of your imaginings. It is, these are Americans. This is what Americans are like. These are the people that are emerging. And the question you have to ask yourself is, do I have a plan? Do I have an idea? Do I have a vision that's beyond a hand wave? And my take about Zohran, like it's like Brad Lander. I hate Brad Lander. I don't like Brad Lander. But when Brad Lander endorsed Zohran and Zohran counter-endorsed him, I was like, well, I don't care if somebody holds opinions I don't agree with, as long as those opinions are not becoming policy. If Brad Lander is going to, prop up an anti-Zionist politician or an anti-Netanyahu politician, an anti-Israeli genocide, pro-Palestinian politician like Zohran, then the fact that he calls himself a liberal Zionist is less important than the cover he's providing for us. He's acting as a useful idiot for us. If he wants to, be a useful idiot for the pro-Palestinian left, then good for you. I'll let you be a useful idiot for me. I'm not going to stop you. So that's my general orientation. And obviously, I want more left-wing than Zohran. I want more left-wing than Graham. Show me those politicians that are actually connecting with their community, that are more left-wing, and I'll be behind them 100%. In fact, I just was with Francesca running for the governor of Wisconsin. She's more left-wing than both of them. Why aren't you guys why isn't she getting blown up all over your social media feeds? Why aren't the more woker than thou people posting about Francesca all the time? And why did she come to me first? Of all the people on the internet, she came to me first. Why is that? This space is fucked. I was watching a League of Legends world broadcast and Hassan dog drama came up, and I guess to that side of the internet, it's established fact that he shocked his dog. So weird. First of all, no, it's not as an established fact. It's a meme. It's a meme, and no one really gives a shit. Like, Hassan didn't really lose following for that. Debunking the Zohran's a Zionist nonsense. Yes, it is nonsense, by the way.
There have been some really ridiculous and
It is nonsense. We'll watch that. It's silly. All right, let's watch him on Fox News.
People can afford to live in this city. Because right now what we're seeing is that 1 in 4 New Yorkers are being priced out of the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world.
That's absolutely true. One of the things that's also true is that J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs have moved major operations to Texas. They've not abandoned
My noise gate is
New
bad.
York,
yeah, no shit, it's bad. No shit, it's bad. I'm in a fucking hotel room. What do you think this is? You think I've got fucking like my full setup here? No shit, it's fucking bad. I need to do what Hassan did and build like a portable computer setup.
They're hedging their bets on New York because of the increased taxes that they see coming if you become mayor. So when they do that, jobs move out of the city as well. So how does that help affordability if people in the city don't have the jobs that they once had here?
Well, I'm looking to make this a city that every person chooses, whether they're a business leader or they're someone who works for that business. And the key ways of doing that are actually delivering quality of life, public safety, and affordability for each and every person. Because what we're seeing right now is we have a broken status quo. We have a corrupt political system, and we have the politicians that sustain that. That's really what's on the ballot, is whether New Yorkers want to continue that or whether they actually want a city they can afford. That's what I'm going to deliver.
So, Governor Hochul, you would have to get approval from the legislature to raise individual taxes, income taxes, and also corporate taxes in New York, which you've said you would like to do in order to pay for the free buses and the free childcare and the different programs, the government grocery stores and the like. She says no new taxes in her governor's race. So what are you going to do?
Where's the Israel part? People are telling me I missed the Israel part. Where's the beginning? Where's part one? Is this the part one?
As former hostages celebrate being home, there is new heartbreak for families of those killed by Hamas. Hamas says that it can't hand over any more bodies without special equipment to recover them. Israel says one of the 4 bodies returned so far does not match any of the hostages. Zohran Mamdani is leading the race for mayor in New York City, the biggest city in the country and the capitalist center of the world. The 33-year-old is proposing free childcare, free buses, freezing rent, and city-run grocery stores. He has claimed that we should not really have billionaires in this, and he has vowed to make New York the strongest.
It's telling that they can't attack these programs on their own merits. They come at it from an austerity perspective of, we don't have the money to fund these programs. That's exactly right. Most conservatives believe America is poor. And I'm sorry, but if you drive around this country, it's hard to debate with them. You know, if you're riding down potholed streets with trash and homeless people, and it seems like everything's dirty, and all the public infrastructure is is crumbling, and the street lights aren't being maintained, and your child's school is 50 years old, it's hard to go like, wow, I'm in the richest, most advanced country in the world. So when somebody says, actually, we can fix this stuff, we just have to tax rich people, the rich people go, there's not enough money in the world that you could tax us to pay for all these programs. And it's like, that's obviously a lie. But it's a believable lie. And a lot of people have this kind of cynicism, this stupid cynicism, that nothing can ever get better. Because why would it? They have lived through their entire life, things have gotten worse, which is in the opposite in China. In China, for the last 40 years, every year has been better than the previous year. Every year there was something new, something nice, some other thing that was built and opened up that wasn't the year. So for them, the future is optimistic because they just see things getting better and better and better. For Americans, the future is pessimistic because nothing gets better. Everything gets worse.
Sanctuary city in the country. His views on hot topics like the NYPD and Israel have been a constant source of controversy, but he is ahead by 13 points right now in this race. I sat down with him on the eve of tomorrow night's big mayoral debate in New York City. Here's part 1 of our exclusive interview. Thank you very much for being here. Candidate for mayor of New York City, you're up by 13 points. It looks like you've got the wind at your back. You've got a big debate coming up tomorrow night with the other candidates, Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa. Obviously, New York City policy is front and center, but I would imagine that some of the big headlines recently are going to come up tomorrow night as well. So I want to get to all the policy issues in New York, but I wanted to ask you this first. If you are asked tomorrow night, if you give credit to President Trump for the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and the return of the 20 living hostages, would you raise your hand?
You know, first I want to say it's a real pleasure to be here. And thank you for having me. And it's an honor to have this opportunity to speak to so many New Yorkers and Americans across the country. And when it comes to the ceasefire, I am thankful and I have hope that it will actually endure and that it will be lasting. And I continue to have concerns because I've seen reports still, just this in the last few days, that 5 Palestinians were killed by the Israeli military. And that's what gives me pause about issuing any kind of praise or celebration at a moment when it is still so in its infancy. And what I will tell you is that in that same moment, it is also one that requires a focus on ensuring that that hope, that belief in a better future is one that is emblematic in our policies right here in New York City as well. And that's what we're hoping to lead with.
So would you give President Trump credit or not, to any extent? Credit or not?
I think it's too early to do so.
Too early to say.
But if it proves to be something that is lasting, something that is durable, then I think that that's where you give credit.
So you've denounced Israel and the United States for the response to the slaughter on October the 7th. In fact, at times you've called it a lasting stain, the response, and at times you have left October 7th out of your statements completely around this issue. Right now, you just talked about Israelis killing some Palestinians, but Hamas is killing Palestinians within Gaza. And they have not returned the bodies that they promised to return.
Wow, we bombed every structure and we killed tens of thousands of children, but the guys who helped you do it getting arrested. Like I find these kind of arguments really fascinating because it's just air filling. It's air filling.
Return, including 2 Americans, Itai Chen and Omer Nutra, whose families we have interviewed over these months. What is your response to what Hamas is doing now?
I think those are bodies and remains that should absolutely be returned. And I think that I have no issue with critiquing Hamas or the Israeli government because my critiques all come from a place of universal human rights. And my focus, however, is right here in New York City and transforming the most expensive city in America into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker.
But, okay, I want to get to that, absolutely. But do you believe that Hamas should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza?
I believe that any future here in New York City is one that we have to make sure that's affordable for all. And as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, that we have to ensure that there is peace. And that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, that applies to the Israeli military, applies to anyone you could ask me about.
Okay.
By the way, it's also incredibly fucking chauvinistic to be like, Americans, tell the Palestinians what they should do. What the fuck? It's such a weird question.
Last thought on that. You have said that you would arrest Netanyahu if he came to the United States. You've been very outspoken in your criticism of him. Do you stand by that? You would arrest him if he came here, if you were mayor?
I've said that this is a city that believes in international law, and this is a city that wants to uplift and uphold those beliefs. The Prime Minister...
The United States doesn't stand by the International Criminal Court.
It hasn't signed the treaty for the International Criminal Court. The International Criminal Court, however, has issued a warrant for the arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu.
But what grounds in the United States could you arrest him on?
As it has for Vladimir Putin. I've said that I believe that we should uphold arrest warrants by the International Criminal Court and that you should do so only in abiding with all of the laws in front of us. I'm not going to make a new law to ensure that we can actually do this.
Do you think that Commissioner Tisch would allow you to arrest Netanyahu in New York City?
I've appreciated Commissioner Tisch's leadership of the NYPD, and I think that she's done a good job at lowering crime across the city.
But do you think that she would go along with arresting Netanyahu in New York?
I can tell you that I'm going to exhaust every legal option in front of me, not to make new laws to do so.
All right, so we got that.
Are they saying that the NYPD would mutiny against the mayor because he said to arrest a war criminal? Is that what they're trying to say? It's like, come on now. Come on now.
Allow taxes to be raised. How will you pay for these programs?
I've said time and again that I believe these are the most straightforward ways that we can actually fund universal childcare, making buses fast and free. And I've said that the 2 clear ways to do so, raising personal income taxes on the top 1% by 2%, and raising the corporate tax to match that of New Jersey's corporate tax of 11.5%. Now, if there are other ways to raise this money to fund this agenda, the most important thing is that we fund the agenda. I still think that these are the most important and clear ways we can do it. Thankful to have Governor Hochul's support in this race and the fact that she said we have a shared commitment to delivering universal child care for New Yorkers across the city and the state.
I think that's great. I think everybody would love to have free health care and free buses and all these things. But the question is, how do you pay for it? The city's already in debt. The governor says no to new taxes. Like Margaret Thatcher said, socialism's great until you run out of everyone else's money, other people's money.
Well, what Andrew Cuomo said is that if he had $959 million, he'd give it to Elon Musk in tax credits because that's exactly what he did. And I bring that up to you to say that it's often a question of whether you have the willingness to spend that money to benefit working class people, not where that money is in the first place.
So what would you cut? What would you draw from to do it?
I don't think we have to cut. I've spoken about raising taxes on the wealthiest. And frankly, this is an issue that we have here in New York City, and frankly, even across this country. When I've spoken to Trump voters right here in New York City, Hillside Avenue in Queens, Fordham Road in the Bronx, they've told me it was cost of living that drove them to vote for Donald Trump. They've told me it was a promise of a lower whether it be cheaper groceries, whether it be childcare, whether it be rent.
Right.
And what we're seeing time and time again is we're more focused on the question of billionaires and the most profitable corporations than we are on people who can't even afford to make ends meet in this city.
Well, we know affordability is an issue, and I think that all politicians are getting to an understanding of that, and I think that you've done a lot, actually, to bring people's attention to that issue. Let's take a look at the free buses issue just for a moment, because I know you said that the pilot project that you did was one of the biggest accomplishments of being an assemblyman. The Washington Post said this in an editorial about this. Quality inevitably declines when a service is offered for free.
Vagrants and drug addicts would camp all day on New York buses, especially in the winter. I think one of the things that's really interesting about the way that liberals argue, and you know, I include Fox News in this, is they go, well, you're addressing this problem with the program, but that program will not address every single problem that exists. So therefore, we shouldn't do the program. And the answer is, it's like, if you're talking about the fact that we have homeless people and mentally ill people wandering the streets, charging fares on buses doesn't solve that problem either, right? Like, charging $1.50 is not keeping homeless people off the bus. Sorry. So if you say, hey, we need a solution for homelessness, then yeah, I've got a really good solution for homelessness. I'm going to have mental health counselors go and address homelessness and antisocial behavior directly. Like, give me a fucking break. Charging fares on buses and having public transit be shittier doesn't solve the homelessness problem, man. That's a pathetic argument. And it's irrelevant to talking about how much encouraging people to get, like, free buses is going to get cars off the street. That's going to improve congestion. It means it's going to be faster to get around the city. It's going to get people who are looking for work the ability to travel further in pursuit of jobs. Better transit connections, cheaper transit connections mean people are going to not be stopped by transit frictions. It's going to make so much more of the other spending more efficient. And then, you know, addressing the homelessness issue is about addressing affordability. The reason why we have homeless people on the streets, more homeless people than ever before, and we've seen this in study after study, is that the cost of living is going up and it's too high. People live on the streets because they can't afford an apartment. It's fucking obvious. So if you want less people out on the streets, you need to give them an apartment. Now, conservatives agree with that, by the way. Conservatives agree with me. They just think that apartment should have bars on it. They think that apartment should have prison guards. They think that apartment should remove that person's liberty and their freedom and their ability to work a job. They want to give homeless people free housing. They just want to put it in a jail. And by the way, putting homeless people in a jail is fucking way more expensive than building housing for people. So it's like, you and I agree that homeless people need to be given housing. You want them in the fucking prison charging $100,000 a year in expenses. I want to put them in a brand new socialized housing unit that gives everybody in New York quality access to high quality social housing that you and I would want to live in and be proud to live in, and where we can address their behavioral issues, their mental health crises, give them the treatment they need to recover. Did you see that Mike Johnson said he defends Nazi ideology? Oh, no. Removed by moderator.
Vagrants and drug addicts would camp out all day on New York's buses, especially in the winter. Parents would go afraid to let their children ride alone. Wealthier residents would find another way to get around, but poor New Yorkers who depend on the bus would suffer the most. What do you say to that? Do you agree with that?
Well, I would say that they should actually look at the report of the 5 free buses we delivered across New York City. We didn't see an increase in homelessness. We did see an increase in New Yorkers riding the bus. We did see a decrease in assaults on bus drivers by 38.9%. And we also saw a decrease in New Yorkers who were having to take a cab or take their own car. They were actually getting on the bus. More than 10% of new riders were doing so. That's why we care so deeply about this, because of the fact that it can actually deliver economic, public safety, and even congestion relief to New Yorkers who are looking to take these buses.
I know that you're turning 34 on Saturday, and I want to talk about your qualifications. Some say you have never run a business in your life. So I'm curious, and President Trump said that you never worked a day in your life. You worked as an assemblyman, and you've had other positions in the government. What qualifies you from your life experience to run the largest city in the country?
You know, I want to take this moment because you spoke about President Trump, and you may be watching right now, and I just want to speak directly to the president, which is that I will not be a mayor like Mayor Adams who will call you to figure out how to stay out of jail. I won't be a disgraced governor like Andrew Cuomo who will call you to ask how to win this election. I can do those things on my own. I will, however, be a mayor who is ready to speak at any time to lower the cost of living. That's the way that I'm going to lead this city. That's the partnership I want to build, not only with Washington, D.C., but anyone across this country. I think it's important because too often the focus on the needs of working class Americans, working class New Yorkers are put to the side as we talk more and more about the very kinds of corrupt politicians like Andrew Cuomo that delivered us into this kind of crisis.
So the question I asked you was what specifically in your background gives you confidence that you can run a $115 billion budget and run this city specifically from your personal experience and your background?
I've been a state assembly member here in New York City. I've represented 130,000 people in Queens. And in the time that I've done so, I've not only delivered more than $100 million in increased bus and subway service, I've also secured $500 million in debt relief for working class taxi drivers. President Trump knows this. New Yorkers know this across the 5 boroughs. Taxis, as we're looking at them right here, are such a part of what we love about this city. And yet those same drivers were sold a lie about a ticket to the middle class if they bought a medallion. I stood with those drivers. I organized with those drivers. I went on a 15-day hunger strike with those drivers, and we secured $500 million in debt relief that allows those drivers to do more than just think about struggle.
How many employees would you be overseeing in the New York City government?
More than 300,000.
That's a lot of people. But thank you for answering the question. I know that you want to stimulate small business in the city, and we all walk around the city that we love, and we see a lot of empty storefronts. So give me your plan on how you would do that.
The reason why they have empty storefronts is because the landlords would rather warehouse literally tens of thousands of units rather than lowering rent, because the moment you lower rent, you revalue the fucking property, and it could make financial, getting further loans go upside down, basically. So they'd rather hold this shit empty so that they have the ability to price the value of the real estate at a higher level. And the value of the real estate is partially derived in the income that they get from commercial rent, which is why private landlords should be taxed heavily for empty storefronts. You can also write off those rental losses against profits. Exactly. So we're tax incentivizing this shit. Thanks, ACAB Forever. Who's going to Twitchcon this year? Is anybody in the chat going to Twitchcon this year? Nice. No money. No. First time. Nice. People could afford it. I know it's gotten really more expensive now, hasn't it, too? Working mortgage and do DSCR loan, shit is cooked. Yes, I know it's all cooked. But the capitalist ideologues are so vetted to the idea that the market rates adjust when they don't. They're so wedded to this idea that is provably not happening.
You know, I've spoken to a lot of New Yorkers for whom their aspiration, their dream is in that small business. And I've told them that we are going to make it easier to not only open it, but keep it open. We're going to cut fines and fees by 50%. Because as you said, we have a city government that has a $116 billion budget. It's not funded by charging a restaurant $25 a year for the right to sell a frozen dessert. We're going to streamline the regulations and rules that these small businesses have to adhere to. Because today, if you want to open up a barbershop, you have to fill out 24 forms, go to 7 agencies, 12 in-person activities. And furthermore, we're going to have a mom and pop czar, someone that'll help these businesses navigate through this. Because while we are holding these kinds of businesses to these kinds of rules, we're letting the most profitable corporations walk all over us here in New York City. And it's part of the problem where so many New Yorkers look around at the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world and asking themselves, there's all this money, why can't I afford $2.90 to even ride the bus?
So let me just quick question on that, and I want to get to public safety because it's obviously another big issue for New Yorkers. So a lot of individuals in this city pay more than 50% of their income in taxes. When you talk about a fair share, how much more than what is the fair share? What's the number?
I've said that we should increase personal income taxes by 2%.
Is fair.
And my point is this:
give up more than half of your income. That's
if you're making $1 million in New York City or more than that, you can afford to pay 2% more. And the reasons you can afford to do so is because that money will be used to better your quality of life as well.
Yeah.
Because when I speak to the wealthiest New Yorkers, I hear concerns about the cleanliness of the city, the quality of life in the city, questions of public safety. This money is the money that will be used to deliver on those things so that we can ensure that we have a return on investment for all of the money that we are raising and spending right here across the 5 boroughs.
I want to talk to you about public safety and your relationship with police. So just in terms of public safety, I want to go to an example first, because I hear from people that they don't feel safe walking home at night. There's drug addicts on the street, right around the corner here. You can walk around the corner and see people shooting up. A lot of garbage on the streets right now. The subway is something that people are really concerned about. Last week, 64-year-old Nicola Tanzi, who was a church leader, a pillar in his community, was brutally beaten to death. I tried to watch this video in preparation. It's very hard to watch. In a subway station in Brooklyn, 25-year-old David Mazaregos had a 20-inch sword. He's the suspect in this case. He was out. They lowered his bail so that he could get out. He was already waiting a trial for attacking someone in Chelsea, 33 past arrests.
Yeah, I see you, Comrade
You were
Niska.
in favor of bail reform. Does that make you want to change your mind or think twice about reversing that?
This is a horrific incident, and it's the same video that I saw. And it's one that horrifies New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs, and it's completely unacceptable. And what it makes me think about is the necessity of providing public safety in our New York City subway system and across the 5 boroughs. And also, how do we end the revolving door? Because when you look further into the case of whether this individual or so many individuals, especially those suffering from mental health issues, what we find is so often the only mental health system that we have that's functioning in the city is Rikers Island. 40% of the incarcerated population there are suffering from
on the
serious
street
mental
is the
illness.
question. Why was he on the street?
Because we have a broken system.
They lowered his bail. He had a bail he couldn't pay. Then they lowered the bail, and then he could pay it.
The point is, dummy, that throwing him in jail doesn't solve the problem. Eventually they get out anyway. You need to actually solve mental health crises by directly addressing it instead of just building more and more prisons. Dumb fuck. Jesus.
Imagine if you're this family, and they look at 33 prior arrests. Why? Why was this man on the street? What would stop him in your administration from being on the street?
Because what we would do is actually address the systemic problems that would ensure that someone who goes through the system this many times is actually, his issues are addressed, the services are provided. Right now, all we have is going in and out, especially when it comes to mental health. I'll give you an example.
Where would he be in your world? Where would he be? In a mental institution?
He would actually be getting services from the first time that he was arrested, as opposed to having to go through them 33 times. If you look at the New York Times, they did an investigation on 1,000 different incidents of violent crime in the city tied to mental health episodes. They found that so many of those same New Yorkers were failed by the interactions they had with the city when they went for help for mental health assistance. And that failure is a blight, it is a stain on our city, and it's a failure that I'm looking to fix by actually transforming this with the only comprehensive plan for public safety of any of the candidates. Because what we are going to do is put out a plan and a proposal that we have shared with New Yorkers to create the Department of Community Safety that would bring together all of these pre-existing silos that address mental health crisis, that address homelessness into one department, provide it with the funding necessary, and actually address this crisis.
Where do these people go, though, is my question. Are you going to put them in a mental institution so they can be taken care of? Or are you going to leave them at home on medication? What's the plan?
There's a plan right now that allows for involuntary confinement, which I think should be a last resort because of the fact that when you look at the actual results, this is something that so often doesn't actually have what has been spoken about. But what we have today that actually works for New Yorkers with serious mental illness, there are things like Fountain House. This is a clubhouse model, peer-led rehabilitative treatment for New Yorkers with serious mental illness. It costs $4,000 to have someone in Fountain House for a year. That's the cost of being on Rikers for 3 days. And what we see, however, is that those services, they increase employment by 50%, they reduce hospitalization by up to 45%, and they actually reduce the cost of healthcare as well for those same New Yorkers. This is what we're looking at. This is why we say that Rikers is broken, the system is broken.
You can just see people who are...
Basically, the way conservatives operate is that the moment you're like, hey, let's look at the things as a whole with numbers and facts, and we they'll say, well, I have this incident. This incident happened. And it'll be like, if you live in a society where the incidents happen 100 times less, that still means there's some incidents. And to a conservative, it's either perfect or it's not worth doing. Like, that's literally how dumb they think. And if you're like, we'll reduce it by 70%. They'll still fixate on that 30% because it's not about logic or arguments or facts. It's about how we can present a sensational story to trigger your fear response so that you are not thinking about what makes a society functional. In the most empathetic, well-designed, clean city, there's still going to be instances of violence that are committed by people. You know, like that's just an inevitability. But we can significantly reduce it by up to 10 times with public policy. And these fuckers are like, oh, well, you know, have murder 4% as much as we do now? No thanks. You didn't stop all murder.
Suffering up and down 8th Avenue, just as one example. And I hope we'll have a chance to talk more about that next time. But I don't want you to leave without me asking you about your relationship with the police, because obviously this is a big issue. You said in the past, and I almost don't need to go through it, it's been said many times, but that you called the police force racist, said they were a major threat to public safety, called them wicked and corrupt. And now the report that you apologized to 24 members of the NYPD. What did you say to them?
I apologized for the language that I used, and I spoke to them about the fact that I want to work with them to deliver public safety. Because what we're seeing in the city right now is we're asking officers to do nearly everything we can think of. We used to ask officers to focus on serious crimes. Now we're asking them to focus also on the mental health crisis, to focus also on homelessness. In 1 year alone, the NYPD receives 200,000 mental health calls in 1 year.
Yeah, and you know what they told me? That 1 out of 3 of those, the person they're very, very dangerous interaction. You're going to send a social worker in there?
You can always have a police officer actually come to address that. But look, you're saying 1 out of 3. 2 out of 3 times, if you don't need the police and you're sending them to do that, then why aren't you sending them to respond to shootings and murders? 5-6 years ago, the response time for officers was closer to 10 minutes. Now it's closer to 16 minutes. New Yorkers deserve a police department that is asked to do the things that it can possibly do, not one that covers the failures of every break in the social safety net.
So police officers that I spoke to, they don't want a behind closed doors apology. They want a broad public apology for the things that you suggested about them. Will you do that right now?
Absolutely. I'll apologize to police officers right here, because this is the apology that I've been sharing with many rank and file officers. And I apologize because of the fact that I'm looking to work with these officers, and I know that these officers, these men and women who serve in the NYPD, they put their lives on the line every single day. And I will be a mayor that
What changed your mind about it?
I moved to the city when I was 7 years old. I grew up here. And 2 of the things that I thought often about was safety and justice. And growing up here, learning about the case of the exonerated 5, learning about Sean Bell, learning about Eric Garner, learning about Michael Brown. And then in 2020, the year where all of these tweets are referring to, it was the year when George Floyd was killed. And it felt like safety and justice had never been further apart. And it was actually Eric Adams in 2021 who said that New Yorkers need not choose between these 2 things. And so one of my focuses was, how do we deliver that justice? And now what I know, having represented 100,000 people in Western Queens, is that to deliver that justice, you have to also deliver that safety. And that means representing the men and women in the NYPD. It means representing the black and brown New Yorkers who've been victims of police brutality. It means representing the Muslim New Yorkers in my district who were surveilled on the basis of their faith.
68% of independent voters want more police officers on this. And Cuomo, tomorrow night in that debate, he's going to say, I'm going to bring 5,000 more police officers to the street. Will you match that and agree with him on that?
I don't look to Andrew Cuomo for leadership. And
well, will you put 5,000 more cops on the street?
I've been very clear. I want to keep the number of officers that we have, and I want to make it easier for those officers to do their job. And what that means is that we allow officers to focus on serious crimes, and for all of the focus on the head count, we should focus on the retention crisis. When I started running for mayor, 200 officers were leaving the department every month. Now it's 350. And a lot of them are leaving because there's simply no way they can do their job in what's being asked of them. And to your point, however, Andrew Cuomo is going to say a lot of things tomorrow night on the debate stage. And frankly, I wish it was more like NASCAR, so New Yorkers could see the billionaires that were sponsoring him right on his suit jacket. Because this is a man who had 10 years. And I know now that it's politically convenient, he watches Fox News as well. So I'll just speak to him directly. You had your chance to lead this state. You took that time to sell out working class New Yorkers to your billionaire donors. And instead of actually meeting the needs of people who couldn't afford to live in the city, you gave $959 million in tax breaks to Elon Musk. And now you want us to believe that we can't spend less money than that to make every bus fast and free in the same city.
I'm squeezing.
Well, you see, when you're giving tax breaks to billionaires, there's no limit to what you can spend, because they deserve it. All right, hold on, chat. Let us let's finish this before we move on to that.
Two very quick ones here,
Absolutely.
if you can answer them quickly. Commissioner Tisch, you have suggested that you want her to stay. Have you asked her to stay? And has she said yes? Because I think that is one issue.
He has
that
to
would go a
win
long way
first. That's
towards
arrogant.
police retention.
That's arrogant.
I've said that I appreciate Commissioner Tisch's record of uprooting corruption in the upper echelons of the NYPD.
Yep.
I've appreciated her presiding over drops in crime across the city, and I continue to actively consider her to be my police commissioner. I haven't made any personnel commitments.
Okay, so you don't want to ask her right now?
No. That's the kind of conversation I would actually have in person, in private, not a politics of theater.
Okay, it's an issue that a lot of people brought up with me when I told them I was going to be speaking with you. Last question. You want to have a World Cup czar. I know you're a huge soccer fan, Arsenal fan. I have a lot to learn about soccer. I'm happy to admit that. And I look forward to learning more. That would be great. What is this World Cup czar going to do for New York City business?
The World Cup is the largest sporting event in the world, and it's as if no one has been thinking or talking about it.
Being a mayor is so funny, dude. It's so funny. Like, this is like, I think a lot of people underestimate how important just having the idea of socialists or communists who win positions like this in normalizing our ideology for regular people. Like in Austria, there's a communist mayor of, I think it's Graz. Like, this is the type of shit that opens up the Overton window. Like, socialists being normal. Can we talk about how much aura Zohran has that a Fox News is yapping with a Muslim socialist about liking soccer? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you're literally watching their propaganda fail. You're watching their propaganda fail on their own network.
Here in New York City government. It's coming next summer to this city. We're going to have billions of people watching. The World Cup czar is going to ensure that this is a tournament that New Yorkers remember as well, not just those who visit us. Tournament that will signify an increase, not only in tourism, but for small businesses and an exploration of this city. Because for too long, we have had these kinds of opportunities that we've just passed up on. I mean, we recently had the 400th anniversary of New York City. Most people have no idea.
Right, good point.
Because the city didn't do anything about it.
Well, you know, President Trump's going to make a huge deal out of the 250th anniversary of New York City. So maybe there's an example there. And he and his family, his son is a huge soccer fan. So would you welcome them to New York to enjoy the World Cup with you?
I would welcome them to come to New York City and also to talk about how we can actually lower the cost of living, because that has to be the focus. And frankly, that's a promise that's been broken. It's time to fix it. And that's what I'm running to do.
Zohran Mamdani, thank you very much. Pleasure to talk to you. Hope we can continue the conversation. We'll be watching the debate really closely tomorrow night and the whole race as we.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
He completely cooked them. He completely cooked them. There's no doubt. Like, they didn't lay a glove on him. It was like watching Muhammad Ali. He was just dancing around. He was putting his hands in his pockets and just slipping everything. Andrew Cuomo does not take no for an answer, whether it be from the voters or the women in his life. She's trying to hide that she likes him. Warning, there's a Hannity jump scare at the end. How does America pay Israel $3.8 billion but doesn't know where to get the universal child care money can come from? This guy is clearly a communist, wanting policies that help working Americans get this socialism out of here. I want a politician that will give massive tax cuts to billionaires and $20 billion bailouts to foreign leaders. Well, you're fresh out of luck on every count, because communists never have policies that help working people. They make unattainable promises to get votes from gullible idiots, then tell them to blame someone else when their lives become more miserable. Funny how the people of the USSR tore down walls with their bare hands to escape the lunacy of communism, given that it was doing such a great job of looking after ordinary Soviets. The fall of the Soviet Union was the worst thing for human life expectancy that has ever happened. It was worse than like World War II. And also, like, come on, man. It's not 1995 anymore, bro. It's not 1995 anymore, bro. Come on, man.
经过长期努力，中国特色社会主义进入了新时代。
Like you're all living in a different world than actually exists. You know, I'm sorry, conservative guy, but that it ain't so. No mo. How dare he care about the people? $40 billion bailout for Argentina. I thought it was supposed to be America first. Not sure what's better, Mamdani winning over Fox host in real time or Cope in the comments. Very skilled communicator. He's only 33. That's what's fucking crazy. He's only 33, chat. His smile is making her smile, and she even LOL'd about his joke about Cuomo. Oh, fuck, I didn't see
including
this.
how to actually resolve the housing crisis in the city.
Oh, no, the Riz. The Riz. All right, I want to see more conservative molding. Where's the molding? Well, let's see how New York City does under socialism. They're just giving up. They're just giving up. They only care about where the money's coming from when it's something for actual people paying the bill. That's a really good line. He's talking a lot of sense, actually. And then we have a bot comment for some scam shit. Most striking thing coming out of his mouth was the magic word deregulation. Sorry, folks. It seems he'll obtain 50 to 51 to 59% of the vote. Well, like, okay. Deregulation is a value neutral term. And in fact, you can use it to mean all sorts of shit. You know, it doesn't necessarily, like, not all regulations are good. Nobody thinks that. I mean, nobody thinks all regulations are good. Some regulations are incorrect or out of date, and they need to be updated. Like, that's very simple. The question is, for whom are the regulations being constructed? Who's benefiting? Cui bono? Giuliani delivered free public transportation. The city pays $92 million for the Staten Island ferry. How come that never comes up? We have free public transportation now, thanks from a Republican mayor. Like, of course, everybody understands that free buses are not that hard to do. Mitch McConnell just fell while being asked about ICE.
My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
Oh my God. How come none of these motherfuckers ever retire? Why the fuck do these motherfuckers never retire? It's crazy. He should be hanging out on some porch with a mint julep and fucking blanket. What the fuck are you doing? Get this guy a copper cup. He's slipping on ice.
My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
I can't think of a better symbolic example of where America is going than that. A rotten boomer clinging to power, ignoring questions about the brutalization of American citizens on the street. Just a rotten, barely coherent, barely sentient, evil rat. It's like, why do you even want to be a senator at 83 or whatever?
Understanding. With regard to the swastika thing, this happened last night. A Republican congressman, allegedly one of his staffers had something in the background or something in a Zoom. That's what I heard this morning. He says that that's not his, and there's a proper investigation ongoing, and the congressman did exactly what he should have done, and that is report it. It's under investigation, and I can't comment on it any further until that's done, but I will say, obviously, that is not the principles of the Republican Party. We stand for the founding principles of America. You want me to articulate them for you right now? Individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity, the things that lead to human flourishing. We have stood against that. We fought the Nazis. We defended that evil ideology. We roundly condemn it, and anybody in any party who espouses it, we're opposing that. my understanding. With regard to the swastika thing, this happened last night. A Republican congressman, allegedly one of his staffers had something in the background or something in a Zoom. That's what I heard this morning. He says that that's not his, and there's a proper investigation ongoing, and the congressman did exactly what he should have done, and that is report it. It's under investigation, and I can't comment on it any further until that's done, but I will say, obviously, that is not the principles of the Republican Party. We stand for the founding principles of America. You want me to articulate them for you right now? Individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity, the things that lead to human flourishing. We have stood against that. We fought the Nazis. We defended that evil ideology. We roundly condemn it, and anybody in any party who espouses it, we're opposing that. That's my understanding. With regard.
How come they're... The thing that's really funny to me about being like Nazis in general is they got their asses kicked. Like they all ended up killing themselves. They all ended up with like a fucking bullet to the brain or a cyanide capsule or a noose around their neck. And Germany was fucking obliterated and ripped apart by all its enemies. And the fucking red flag of communism was hoisted over the Reichstag. You know what I mean? It's like, why you're celebrating fucking losers. The same thing with the Confederacy. I mean, they ended up on their knees begging for fucking mercy. It's just, come on, man.
With regard to the swastika thing, this happened last night.
The swastika thing. Hungrig. Thanks, Vio. Thank you. Mike learned German stream. I'm so bad at learning languages. The Mitch Crip reminded me of this.
The health of California Senator Dianne Feinstein. The 89-year-old Democrat recently returned to Capitol Hill in 3-month absence due to a bout of shingles. Her office confirms that she's dealing with some serious complications.
My God. What, you want to see if you're coming on the camera here?
No, I want to see the meme.
What meme?
That meme.
Oh, yeah. The meme. All that show is your blonde fringe.
I'm confused.
Keep them confused. Well, chat, she doesn't look any better than this because she's dead. So this was actually like, she was looking good compared to now.
What do you mean? She looks perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Look at this, dude. It's so fucked.
Like, listen, age comes for us all. You know, like this is our all of our futures is time grinds on. Unless China invents a way for us to restore us to perpetual health and youth. But this is a time when your family, you should be with your family, enjoying your twilight years, being comfortable. If you have the ability, writing journals or memoirs, or just dispensing wisdom, handing out your secret family recipes, experiencing and enjoying the success of your great grandchildren, because she's that fucking old. It's not even grandchildren anymore. It's her great grandchildren. Just like, I don't know, enjoying life from comfort, peace, maybe doing some shrooms. Axio began reporting on the story. Fetterman Texas, enjoy your clickbait. Asked a follow-up question, Fetterman said, please do not contact. Dems plot Fetterman ouster. Bye-bye, bitch. Oh my God, chat. I need to show you my DMs with his wife. Because I knew his wife, and she still follows me to this day. And I used to DM her, but now I DM her like, your husband is a disgrace. He's gonna be a one-term senator. How do you sleep at night? Like, I just do that. Don't do that. Absolutely do that. What? I mean, listen, I'm not telling you to DM anybody. I'm just saying I have DM'd her that. And I know her. So I can. This is not harassment. This is a friend saying, you guys suck. Fuck you. We're not friends anymore. It isn't wife pro-Palestine. I don't give a fuck. If Vio was sitting down with Benjamin Netanyahu, you know what I mean? Like, that's the end of it. That's the end of it. If I have a friend who's cozying up to Benjamin, that's it. We're never talking again. We're gone. You know what I mean? Rip. Top Democrats in Pennsylvania are maneuvering against Senator Fetterman in a 2028 primary contest, threatening to tear the party apart. No, it's not going to get torn apart by shit. 70 to 80% of Democrats are going to fucking throw this guy right on his ass. Just switch parties now. Make it easier. Is DeLuzio the top pick? Oh, I would be a DeLuzio supporter. That would be a cool guy. Connor Lamb sucks shit. Fuck Connor Lamb. He's a right winger. Fuck him. We're not switching one right winger for another right winger. Fuck Connor Lamb. They're married and have kids. I don't give a shit. If you are married to someone and they become a fucking genocider, get a divorce. People get divorces because they don't like how you chew. Genocide is a perfectly fucking reasonable reason to get a divorce. Reasonable reason. Okay. Well put, Mike. My latest investigation for Consumer Reports is based on months of reporting and 60 lab tests leading protein supplements. We found that most protein powders and shakes have more lead in one serving than our experts say is safe to have in a day. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Is there a link to this? Why can't I? Where's the fucking link? Oh, no. Okay, what about the, shit. What's the one that I do? Products to avoid. Huel Black Addiction. Why does it have so much lead in it? Why is Naked Nutrition Vegan? Why does it have so much lead in it? What the fuck? Okay, I think I have seen this brand. Of course. Okay. Better choices for daily consumption. Okay. Optim Nutrition. Okay. Wait, they didn't try the fuck, what is the one that has like 42 grams of protein? Fairlife. They didn't test Fairlife? Fairlife is BDS? Wait, is it Coca-Cola? I have no idea what is owned by everything at this point. This doctor says that this is exaggerated. I'm sorry, chat, but I am not gonna, I'm not coping. If I was taking Naked Nutrition or Huel, I'm getting out of there immediately. Fanta. What is BDS doing these days? Okay, so they just put out one in July. Okay, these are the impacts. What are the campaigns we're doing right now? Okay. Globally boycott Microsoft, Reebok, Intel, Cisco, Chevron. Okay, so I'm not seeing... Okay, let's look at the economic boycott. The Boycott Puma campaign confirmed that following relentless BDS campaigns worldwide, the German company has ended its complicity with Israel's apartheid regime and its Gaza genocide. Okay, so Puma is no longer BDS. Where's Coke? Okay, these are grassroots organic boycott targets. Okay. Are targeted in some countries by grassroots organic boycott campaigns not initiated by the BDS movement. BDS supports these boycott campaigns because these companies or their branches or franchisees in Israel have openly supported Israeli apartheid and have provided generous in-kind donations to the Israeli military amid the current genocide. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so this isn't necessarily BDS. This is like people doing on social media shit, and they're saying, yeah, do it and say it's for BDS if you want. Is that basically what's happening? It's like the Amazon one. Like if you look at what BDS is saying about pressure, they're not like, oh my God, don't use Twitch or don't use the internet, because obviously Amazon's fucking AWS is the backbone of the internet. Like you can't not use AWS. So I think they're like pressure campaigns, social media pressure. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for the heads up on that. I usually try to avoid all of the things that I can. Mike, saw you talk about this yesterday. Hank Green dropped a new vid dismantling the AI bubble.
I love a good graphical representation of reality. Now, they're never perfect. There's always data that's being left out, but I'm going to talk today about one that contains a lot of information and took a little bit of time for me to parse. And once I did, it kind of terrified me. I'm going to show it to you as well. What a good little visualization we have on our hands here. How NVIDIA and OpenAI fuel the AI money machine. So very quickly, to explain, NVIDIA makes the chips that do the compute that creates the artificial intelligence systems. OpenAI is the biggest company that creates the systems that use those chips to create artificial intelligence systems that do stuff. Not just the chatbot, but also all of the other things that it does, including Sora 2, which you've heard my opinion on. And then there's Microsoft. You've heard of them. AMD is another chip maker like NVIDIA, Oracle, and a few others in here like CoreWeave, possibly some others. I actually don't know what all these companies are. I think Nscale might be one as well, but it's the little dot. Oracle and CoreWeave, at least, are the companies that have built like the data centers, and they buy chips from NVIDIA and then they like lease out the compute. They sell that. So basically, Intel and AMD and NVIDIA sell chips to the AI companies or to the data center companies, and then the data center companies sell the compute to the AI companies. Sometimes the middleman running the data center is there, sometimes it's not there. But in either case, NVIDIA is doing very well because so many people want their chips right now. But we can think of it as like AI companies, chip companies, and then the middlemen compute companies. What the AI companies want is to be able to keep existing. Right now, OpenAI, worth $500 billion, has $12 billion of revenue. That's not profit. That's the amount of money they made total. Their profit is deeply in the negative. And NVIDIA has extremely high profit. They make way more money than they spend because people really want their...
Okay. The reason why NVIDIA is making so much money is people are buying up all of these AI chips because they're speculative investments. If the AI doesn't pan out, I'll give you an analogy so it makes sense. Because we said pan out. Pan out is a metaphor for what? Gold panning. It's like if you buy a claim and you look for gold there, if you don't find gold, then it doesn't pan out, because they were literally talking about the filtration pans for gold, okay? So imagine I set up a giant factory for gold panning pans. You know what I mean? Like I manufacture gold panning pans, and then I put a rail line in, and I'm getting steel shipped in by the train load so I can make as many gold panning pans as possible. Excuse me. And then it turns out there's no gold in the town. Nobody wants to buy the gold pans anymore. Even though I was making good profits on every gold pan, if no one's buying that shit, suddenly I have a railway. Suddenly I have a contract to buy steel. Suddenly I have all the employees. Suddenly I have this gold panning factory. NVIDIA goes belly up if AI doesn't pan out as well. That's just called logic.
Chips right now until they'll pay way extra for them, and they're the best chips. They're the best chips. Crunch, 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 crunch. There's a huge amount of demand for those chips. The prices are way up. It's very good for NVIDIA. That's why they are the largest company in the world and are one company that is worth more than the entire pharmaceutical industry.
I should have bought
But
silver,
even then,
Jack.
even with their absolutely bonkers margin that they have right now, their price to earnings ratio is extremely high. So the value of all NVIDIA stock combined is much higher than you would see with a normal company, which indicates to belief among investors that the prices of those chips will keep going up and the number of chips produced will keep going up. So NVIDIA desperately wants to keep the prices of their chips the same or higher. They want the demand to increase faster than supply, but they also want to increase supply dramatically so that they can sell more things. So like more sales and more profit equals more earnings. People who are sort of on the AI isn't a bubble train right now, what they're saying is, well, if it's a bubble, why are the prices of NVIDIA chips continuing to increase? There's a huge amount of demand there. People are buying them. That can't be entirely irrational. So keep that in mind. The demand for NVIDIA chips far outstrips the supply of NVIDIA chips, and the idea is that will continue to be the case even as supply increases. But first, quickly, the sponsor of this video, Ground News. I don't know about you, but one thing I notice is that when I start to like have a preference for a kind of content, YouTube is like, here's all of that kind of content. And that can get my head stuck in a reality that might not be actually representative of reality. Ground News is an app and a website, I'm on the website version right now, that gathers how different outlets cover the same story all in one place. It shows you who's reporting, what they're saying, and even...
All right, motherfucker, I am literally, and I mean this completely, I am literally mad I'm not getting this bag. Okay, that's it, chat. I'm getting the Ground News bag. I'm finding the Ground News bag. I am getting the Ground News bag. But when I do, I'm just kidding. I'm actually not. I'm making fun of Ground News.
Or nuance. Okay, back to the video.
Nuance!
We're going to leave the middlemen aside right now, and we're going to look at the AI companies. Because then what you have is OpenAI, a company that's now worth $500 billion, according to a recent fundraise. And OpenAI has $12 billion of revenue. It has no profit, and it is by far the largest AI company. And with this $12 billion of revenue, they are spending hundreds of billions of dollars on these chips. And OpenAI, I don't want to say that like they couldn't do more than they're doing right now, but they're not like brand new. They've been selling their services for for a while. Now, could they increase the price of their services? Yes. Do they seem to think that that would be the thing that does it for them? No. Like, they're creating feeds inside of their systems. Now they've got a feed inside of ChatGPT where, like, when you open it, it's like, hey, just like read some stuff. Just read some stuff that I prepared for you. Instead of asking me questions, here's stuff that we think, based on what you've talked to me about before, you might be interested in. And the play there is obvious to me, which is they've said that they don't want to put ads inside of the experience of you just asking it questions, but they haven't said that they won't put ads inside of the stuff that it just provides to you. And if it's just providing stuff for me, maybe sometimes it will provide stuff for me that paid to be there. Also, maybe like Sora's slop talk thing is also a thing where they could put ads, though I can't imagine that anyone thinks that there will actually be a lot of people who spend time on slop talk. But maybe, you never know, irrational exuberance and all that. And thus, you have the other side of the argument. The people who say that this is probably a bubble, they're saying, okay, well, there's demand for OpenAI's services. People use them, they're using them more and more as time goes on. But you can't say that at the moment the demand is outstripping the supply. There's plenty of supply to meet the demand. And right now, OpenAI, according, I think, to them, they lose money every single time you use one of their products. Like, the amount that it costs to train and use the models is more than the amount that they are charging, even for their top $200 a month tier. In that case, it's possible that they could charge 10 times more to their enterprise clients and to their consumer clients, and all those people would keep paying, and they would be a profitable company. But would that actually work? Like, would the $200 a month people pay $2,000 a month? But even more than that, is it true that the demand for NVIDIA's chips is increasing? Or is NVIDIA creating that demand? And likewise, is it true that the demand for OpenAI's services is increasing, or are they increasing that demand? So let's start with OpenAI. There's obviously a lot of arrows coming in and out of this. We're going to start with the ones that have green arrows. There's a healthcare company, Harvey AI, and Anysphere. These are companies that pay money to OpenAI, but that OpenAI's venture arm has also invested in. So they're investing in these companies, and then the companies buy services from OpenAI.
Mike replaces
That's
a
a bit of a
Oh,
loop.
fuck.
Now,
Did I typo? Oh, fuck. Did I typo? Oh, god damn it. This keyboard is fucked. I might need to get a keyboard, because this keyboard, like, watch this. I'm just going to type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. What? Why is there an A? O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W. What? What? D? The keyboard is fucked. Mike, are you traveling today? The Illuminati up here at space. I'm looking down on you. My lasers trace. Hey, thank you, Crafty Comrade, for the resubs. Thank you, everybody, for all the resubs. They're using it as a sweetener because of a zero-calorie technicality. Immediately, everybody stopped taking whey and Huel and stuff. It's Garbo. Okay. I'm looking at all of the messages that I missed. Let's keep going.
Investing like the exact same amount of money. Probably they're investing less than the companies are paying, but that is an example of like a circular system here. We also see these green arrows, which is venture capital, pointing out from NVIDIA to Mistral to Figure AI and to XAI. And all of those people take that venture.
I think it's a very bad idea for a company who is making, for a gold panning company to invest in gold panners in order to stimulate the purchase of gold panning pans. Like, I think that is probably a bad idea. Now, if a NVIDIA capitalist wants to take the money that they have made by selling their shares and then invest it in AI companies separately, that's a different story. But I think this linkage is kind of crazy, and it's driving the bubble.
Capital investment, and then they buy NVIDIA chips. So if you're in the anti-bubble case, then you do have to ask, well, why does NVIDIA have to invest in these companies in order for them to buy their it's not like a quid pro quo here, but like, why can't the companies just get investment from elsewhere outside of NVIDIA to do those investments? It's a little weird, and I think that it makes sense that people are worried about it. Now, none of these arrows have dollar values on them, which is a little bit frustrating for me, except for the most important one, the one that sort of created this whole conversation about round tripping, which is this one. NVIDIA has agreed to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI, and that investment comes along with the purchase of chips. So to unlock more and more of that investment, they have to buy more and more of the chips. That's basically paying OpenAI to buy NVIDIA chips. Now, it's not like the exact price of the chips. It's less than the price of the chips. So basically about a quarter of the money that the chips cost is getting discounted off the price of the chips. And in exchange, and I am simplifying here, but in exchange for that 25% discount, NVIDIA is getting ownership shares in OpenAI. At the same time as that is happening, with this money going to OpenAI, OpenAI signs a $300 billion deal with the middleman, Oracle, who's going to build the data centers and run the data centers. $300 billion on revenue of $12 billion for a company that is not brand new, that has been around and that everybody knows about and that lots of people use and that lots of people have found a hard time figuring out how it integrates well into businesses in a way that is worth spending a lot of money. $12 billion. They have these huge contracts with lots of companies, but still $12 billion is the amount of revenue they have. They're spending $300 billion on a service contract. That's this darker blue line, a service contract with Oracle. So NVIDIA invests in OpenAI. OpenAI signs a service contract with Oracle. Oracle, in order to build this data center, has to spend tens of billions of dollars on chips. All these pink arrows going into NVIDIA, these are all these companies buying chips directly from NVIDIA. So they're all paying money into NVIDIA, which is why they're the ones who are winning the most in this. And also there's this one arrow pointing out of NVIDIA to CoreWeave, which is a service agreement, saying NVIDIA will lease its own chips that are being sold to CoreWeave. So CoreWeave is buying chips from NVIDIA, and then NVIDIA has said, we promise that we're going to pay you to use those chips once they're in your data center. And not only that, they have promised that if CoreWeave, this data center company, if they don't get enough contracts to use all of the chips, NVIDIA will just take all of that excess processing power and pay for it. So they're guaranteeing the value of the chips to CoreWeave. Why would they be doing this if the demand for the chips is so high and the profit margin on the chips is so high? So the anti-bubble argument that I have heard from analysts who are much smarter than me and know more about this is that the price keeps going up for these NVIDIA chips, and so they're like the demand is there. But the chip isn't the product. The AI service to consumers is the product. And right now, that is an order of magnitude under the amount of money that is being spent just on hardware, not even including staff time and the power and the water and the buildings and all that stuff.
This is supposed to be the anti-bubble argument. This is supposed to be the anti-bubble argument. You're supposed to be doing the anti-bubble. I want you to understand something, chat. In this country, our capitalists are willing to chase the fantasy of productivity over the certainty of productivity. And what I mean by that is we have so many things in this country that we need that will make our country more productive. I'm talking about high-speed rail connections, rejuvenating our freight rail connections. I'm talking about improving our roads and our bridges and our ports and our airports and our air traffic control system and our fiber optic internet cables and our hospital system and our healthcare financing system and our education system and our housing supply, right? We have all this stuff that we know if we improved it would make our country more profitable. We have renewable energy capacity. We have a smart grid we need to build. We have nuclear research. We have we have all sorts of shit that we know will get a return that we're underinvesting in. We have guaranteed returns, societal-wide returns that will last for a century. We are still living off the return of the New Deal to this day. To this fucking day, we are still making money off of investments that were made in the New Deal. Do you understand that? But our society is so fucking broken. We say no to all these clearly good ideas because, oh, they will only make us a return of 5% a year. Guaranteed. We know it will. Well, I could invest in this AI bubble and possibly get 1,000% return, except that is... It's all hypothetical. It's all fantasy. It's all greed and avarice. And that's fundamentally why America's cooked. America is cooked because we're not making those investments that are low risk and low return, but over the course of a century compound upon themselves to true wealth. We're avoiding all that for the get rich quick scheme. Whereas in China, they're investing in AI. They're looking into this as a possibility that it might actually work. But they're also investing in housing, healthcare, childcare, electrical grid, renewable energy, nuclear energy, fusion, space. They are investing in everything they know this is something that's going to take 10 years to make a return. They say, invest in that. It's like, we're not going to make money on these solar panels for the first 10 years, but after that, it's free money. They're like, bam, build as many as you can. That's free fucking money. Whereas in America, they're like, ooh, the solar panels will make a profit in 10 years. Well, I can make a natural gas plant that'll make a profit in 7 years. So natural gas plant, that's the problem with America in a nutshell, is the only thing we care about is the short-term profit only. And if you're like, well, the solar panels will actually like have other positive effects, like the fuel costs are zero. So we know what the cost of that solar panel will be forever. Whereas with a natural gas plant, if natural gas goes up in price, it may actually not pencil out in 7 years. Right? It might actually lose money in 7 years, because if there's a natural gas price spike, well, then the profitability that you thought you were going to have might not actually happen. And then there is the pollution you're putting in the air. There's the carbon emissions you're putting into the air. That's why our country's fucked, because we cannot organize around collective investments that will benefit us all. We can't get the capitalist class to make those investments. And so everything is fucking shit. And therefore our economy grows slower. And therefore, we're all poorer. Well, realistically, what would cause the bubble to pop, and what would it look like? Well, I think we're looking at exogenous shocks. So anything that will challenge the idea of the availability of credit to the AI industry. And then also, it just will get to the point where they need income to pay debts. And when the debts just do not, when the income no longer can pay the debts, then it'll start to fall apart. You are correct, Mike, but also know that solar panels typically have a lifespan of 30 years. That's what I'm saying. The 10 years, when you buy a solar panel, the first 10 years are paying for the price of the solar panel. And then after that, the value of the electricity generated pays off the cost of the solar panel. And then the next 20 years, you're making money. You're making a profit from owning that solar panel. The reverse repo facility, excess cash, is at its lowest levels, and hedge funds have been borrowing from the lender of last resort the last 2 days for their derivatives. Really? Which derivatives? And like, oil is already sitting at a ridiculously low level. And it's like, a lot of our economy is based on oil and gas. Oil spot. Let's do CNBC because it's got a better graph. $57? Jesus. And people are buying treasuries? Oh boy. Oh boy. $57 a barrel for oil. What the fuck? How is this even possible? How's gold doing? Not currencies. Where's commodities? There we are. 430? What the fuck? 53? Silver went up 4% today? What the fuck? What are these prices? Why is gas $4 a gallon in Chicago? Because the refiners are fucking you in the ass, is the answer. Bitcoin is down another 2% today. I'm sorry for doing capitalist shit, chat. One of the things, if you're going to be an effective socialist, you must understand capitalism. That is the number one step. If you're going to go from being a internet leftist who goes off of vibes and goes like, I just think the system sucks, man, I think it should be fairer, which is totally cool. But if you actually want to be a socialist, you must understand capitalism. You must understand every single thing I'm showing you right now. You should be able to explain it to me. What is a bond? What is a yield? What does that mean? If you don't know what this means, it means you don't understand the system. So how can you critique it? Wow, they broke 4%. This is a level they've been hanging around for a while. A recession indicator. Recession indicator, chat. Breaching 4% on the 10-year. Well, interest rates are coming down. That's good for you if you borrow money. Girl, I went to public school. So did I. So did I, motherfucker. How come I know shit and you don't? Do you know how many different public schools I went to? I went to a different public school every 3 fucking years. Sometimes shorter than that. So not only did I go to public schools, I never once went to a private school. Not once. I had to move around. So how come I know shit better than you? I signed my offer letter Tuesday. What the fuck should I do when I'm on board and asked to start my 401k with this looming bubble? I don't have a good answer to you. I mean, chat, like, what's the best way to become more educated in capitalism? I don't know your intellectual level. I really don't. I mean, I don't say that to be insulting. I just mean, like, could you read like Capital in the 21st Century? Have you read Capital itself? Here's the one thing I would say about reading Capital Volume 1. I would try to get into a reading group with a professor. Like, I'm not even kidding. Hola. Hallo. I was saying it in Dutch. Hallo.
That's not Dutch.
What's Dutch is hello?
Dutch is hello?
How do they say hello in Dutch?
No, knop de kokentafel.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. You're just saying like you're just making. You're trying to meme me.
Kokentafel.
You're trying to make me meme. Stop memeing. Oh, by the way, chat. Okay, if you've never been to the Netherlands, it's an amazing country. Really great country. We love it. Except it probably has the worst language on the earth. I'm sorry, Dutch people, but it is true. Thanks, Via. She gave me a croissant, chat.
I accidentally sat on it.
You sat on it?
I'm sorry. It was an accident. Okay, dude, no! It was an accident!
What was I saying?
Dutch is terrible.
Oh, Dutch. Bro, it sounds like, it's like the Asmongold of a language. It's like if you look at Asmongold's mother, that's English, and Asmongold's father, that's German, right? Dutch is Asmongold. Like, Asmondad seems like a nice guy. His mother seemed like a nice woman. But somehow them having a child turned out to be just a complete and utter disaster failure, and it's just uncomfortable. And I feel like if you're an English speaker or a German speaker, Dutch really, 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 really will drive you up the wall. It's bad. Okay, hold on. Let me get some examples.
No!
Dutch examples.
No.
Hold on. Funny Dutch phrases. Eye-wateringly funny? No, that's not Dutch. Somebody find me some like, I dropped my baby, you know, in Dutch. It's, die droppen du Baby. Wir haben ein Problem. I only hate two types of people in the world. Those who are intolerant of other cultures and the Dutch. Literally true.
Period.
Literally true. Like, that's not even a joke. That's not even a joke. Like, that's real. Do they speak Dutch in Belgium? No, they speak Flemish and French.
Oh, I'm surprised.
You're surprised I knew that. Yeah. I'm not Destiny, okay? I'm not Asmongold. I know about the world. When this is what Dutch looks like. Take a look at this example of Dutch. No, quickly. No. You'll laugh. You'll actually laugh.
Don't?
Hitler don't?
Hitler don't?
Hitler don't? Somebody needs to Photoshop an Asmongold picture in here for the next time he gets banned, and we can post that. Hitler dude? Where are you going? Oh, you never mind. Oh, okay, yeah.
Wanted to grab you food first.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's great. Appreciate it. Bye. Okay. What were we saying? Okay, you know what I was just realizing, chat? I was just realizing we're 3 hours into the stream, but I forgot the shill. Meaning I haven't begged you for money for my vacation on Twitch at Twitchcon. I'll be wandering around, chat. You can come say hi if you want. Unfortunately, it's such a bummer because everybody's hiding, you know? Everyone's scared. Give me ein sub, yeah. Thank you, Jaeger Larson and Trivial Solution for the 5 gifted subs. If you enjoyed the stream, please consider supporting it by subscribing at Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3 sub. The single best way to support the stream is to subscribe at Tier 3. It counts as 6 subs for the price of 5. Hammond Fist, thank you for the 20 gifter. Hammond Fist, chat, has just been one of my consistent supporters for years and years and years. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. You know, sometimes people come in here and they drop a lot of subs, and then they end up leaving because, you know, that's life. But Open Presents, Hammond Fist, you guys have been like pretty solid supporters for quite a while now, especially you, Hammond Fist. And so I just want to say thank you both for supporting the stream, making sure that people who can't afford the subs, because there's a lot of people working paycheck to paycheck, parents of young children, college students. You've heard my spiel a million times, right? And I think one of the worst things about our society is people think that just because someone doesn't make money, it means they're morally depraved or they are stupid. That's the worst thing about American culture. Everybody thinks money, like we're all temporarily embarrassed millionaires. Oh, I'm in San Diego. What's good food in San Diego? So anyway, thank you guys for supporting the stream. We've got ourselves a hype train going on. Let's get the everything is not looking good. China accuses U.S. of deliberately causing panic over rare earth controls, says it's open to talks. Oh, no. Stocks give up gains on concern about bad loans in the banking industry. Retail traders are buying? Oh, we are going to dump. Oh, we are going to dump.
Amount of money being made by AI companies
was it
is an
making
order of magnitude lower than just the
chat.
money that is going to NVIDIA every year. And by doing deals that basically give companies money to buy NVIDIA's chips, they are selling their chips at an effective discount. And yet, at every one of these steps of the process, as this money flows around, these companies get more highly valued. When Oracle signed this $300 billion a year deal with OpenAI, their stock price shot up. When NVIDIA does venture investment in XAI, which then turns around and buys NVIDIA's chips, that is offering the chips at a discount. So once you parse this fairly information dense, though there could be more information on it and that would be good. But once you get your mind around this little graphic here, it doesn't seem like NVIDIA just thinks people are gonna buy their chips at the prices they're selling them. NVIDIA seems to think it would be better for our share price if we found ways to artificially increase the demand for our chips, like by paying the people who buy our chips to buy our chips, or investing in companies that buy our chips so they can buy our chips. And NVIDIA has so much money that, like, what else are they gonna do? Their price is so inflated. Their stock is worth so much and they have so much money that they can subsidize the purchase of their own chips. And when they do that, the stock market rewards them. This money is just flowing around. And at the root of it is not the demand for NVIDIA chips, because NVIDIA chips are not the product being sold. The product being sold is artificial intelligence systems. Look, it might someday be this big, but it is not anywhere close to that big right now. And it's not brand new. In order for it to be this big, it has to create so much value. And we have to create new systems for capturing that value, besides just firing everyone and having computers do all the work. Microsoft is the only major player on this graph that is buying NVIDIA chips that doesn't have a direct relationship. They do have this one little connection through Nebius, and I don't know what that is, where Microsoft is paying Nebius for a service while Nebius is getting investment from NVIDIA. My God, I don't know how big that is. You want to Google it with me? Oops, I don't want to show you all of my text messages. That was just my dad. It's probably okay. Don't read my text messages. Microsoft secures 100,000 NVIDIA GB300 chips via $33 billion deal. Okay, so it is big. That's actually huge. Oh my God. So Nebius is like an Oracle, but for just AI. I have gotten this take your guest house to the next level ad so many times. I probably accidentally clicked on it once and they're like, yeah, I bet you're interested in nanowalls. I thought it was going to be nanowalls, but it actually...
I said you're in. God damn it, my joke. Okay, delivering the joke. Take two. Bitch, you're in the this guy has a guest house category. I can't even afford a house. This motherfucker. Did you guys see that Moist Critical released his finances? Moist Critical released how much money he made on Twitch and YouTube over the years. And I'm like, have you considered hiring anybody to make your videos not suck? Like when you make 40 million fucking dollars or whatever it is, have you considered hiring like a fact checker and maybe like building a studio or investing any money into your shit at all so it doesn't fucking suck? Clearly he doesn't need to. I wish people had higher standards. Now that you know he's rich as fuck, maybe, him just saying allegedly and I think and I can't really be sure. Maybe you should be like, hey, asshole, spend some of the money you're making, you fucking worthless slug. Moist just wants to grift saying he's a normal person. He doesn't want any more money. Yeah, because he sucks so much, man. Jesus Christ. Super long yellow username. Thank you for the prime. 34, if I had 40 million fucking dollars and you live in Tampa, that's crazy. He has a massive warehouse-sized compound. I've been there. I've literally been there. Let's just say there isn't $40 million of investment in this compound. Wait, why? I sometimes feel like people don't understand. I'm just going to try to explain it so you guys understand. If you go to twitch.tv and you go to browse and you go to just chatting and you say the language of English, and you go from high to low. We have Emaru on a road trip with 20,000 legitimate viewers. Stable Ronaldo giving a PC giveaway. Angry Ginge, I'm not really sure who that is. Never heard of that guy. Jason the Ween with his 7.9K totally legitimate viewers. Extra Emily, 5.2K totally legitimate viewers. Lacey, 4.8K, 100% legitimate viewers. And then me with 4.1 actually legitimate viewers. Now, there's not that many people streaming on Twitch that could pull 4,000 viewers, even semi-regularly, okay? Like, I'm not saying this to flex, just saying that, like, Majority Report has been streaming on Twitch for 5-6+ years, is a really good channel with millions of subscribers on Twitch, on YouTube. Like, a really great channel, and close friends of mine. Like, it's like, come on, that's your answer. All right, let's get back to the AI.
Actually says Nana Wall. That's where you keep your Nana. She's in the walls. So yeah, it's getting 100,000 NVIDIA chips from a company that NVIDIA has invested in. Even Microsoft is getting discounted chips. I don't know, you guys. Seems fine. I have seen the simplified version of this pitched around, which is like NVIDIA gives $100 billion to OpenAI, OpenAI gives $100 billion to Oracle, Oracle gives $100 billion to NVIDIA. It's not exactly like that. It does prop up the demand for NVIDIA chips by making it so that you're giving money to people in exchange for them, in some cases directly, in exchange for them buying NVIDIA chips. Or you're just investing in companies so that they can buy NVIDIA chips. It just seems messy. It seems like bubble mechanics to me, you guys. Though I am, again, just a guy. I don't know why. I gotta get back to talking about rare earths and fish. I gotta get back in my lane. That's what you want anyway. You don't want this. I should be talking about batteries and climate change and the moons of Saturn and my favorite fish. But instead, I looked at that figure for too long. Let's play Connections. I'm worried because the last like 3 have been really easy. Swift Kite, those are birds. Robin is a bird. Oh, interesting. We've got like Batman Begins, Batman Forever, Batman Eternal, Batman Returns. Is that what it is? Is that Batman thing? We got Swift and Robin. Robin is also a Batman thing. There's gotta be, oh, Swallow. Great. Those are all birds. But Swift, Kite, and Swallow are much more similar to each other than Robin. Is there another bird like that? Robin is just a normal bird. Swift, Kites, and Swallows, very similar birds. I don't know why. Wow, this is weird. Everlasting and Permanent. Okay, well, we've got that one now. This looks like it's going to be easy, too. Everlasting, Forever, Permanent, and Eternal. Okay. Launches, Institutes, Pioneers, Begins. And that leaves us with Returns, Ending, Pioneers, and Days? Returns, Ending, Pioneers and Days. Okay, well that does seem like what it is, and I don't mind doing it real fast. Kite, Swallow, Swift, Robin. Those are all birds, and they're the only birds here, so I feel like that's it. This is like creates and puts into the world, launches, institutes, pioneers, and begins. In addition to that, we've got things that go on forever, eternal, forever, permanent, and everlasting, which leaves us with, I think, Days, Returns, Ending, and Trails. Happy Days, Happy Trails, Happy Returns, Happy Ending. Happy Trails. That has 2 meanings now, but there is another one if you're just thinking of the one. And then these are all the same to me. Maybe the bird is second. Yeah, all right. And then I 50-50 chance here. Everlasting, Institutes, Launches, Begins, and Pioneers. That seems a little bit harder. That was easy. That was another easy one.
Are we actually glitched?
I'm feeling it. Woo.
Are we actually glitched? What happened? Okay, we seem like it's fine to me. I'm sorry, chat. I stopped paying attention for a second because I'm at Twitchcon, so I'm like looking at my phone. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Wait, did he just slap a bunch of him playing New York Times puzzle games? Is this an ad? Did you play this game? Okay, let's go. I don't need to remove. I am a New York Times subscriber, embarrassingly enough. Embarrassingly enough. Can you gerrymander? Okay, hold on. I might have to sign in. Give me a second. Wait, no. Wait, no, that's not it. It was. Wait, I think. Is it censure? Yes. Okay. Wait, what? No, I don't want to upgrade. Okay. Gerrymandering your party to power. All right, welcome to Hexopolis. For every 10 years, Hexopolis redraws its congressional district lines just like the United States does, but Hexopolis is a simpler place. Lawmakers in either purple party or yellow party control redistricting. To increase their advantage in upcoming elections, they have been known to gerrymander egregiously, even if it means leaving some voters disenfranchised. Hexopolis has 9 districts. Even though a majority of voters favor the purple party, that does not mean that the yellow party can't shift the state's partisan tilt. Each hex represents a person. Group 15 adjacent ones to make a congressional district. Nice. Okay. Districts must have equal population. Dividing 45 into 3 groups of 15 would give each district the same number of residents. Some by law must protect underrepresented voters. A hex represents a voter who belongs to a minority group in Hexopolis. A mostly minority district is the one where more than half of the hexagons are other hexagons. Double hexagons. Okay. Districts can lean yellow or purple. A purple hexagon is a voter that favors the purple party, and a yellow hexagon favors the yellow party. More than half the hexagons in 2 districts here lead purple. Okay. Try to make districts compact. Fuck that. We're here to win, bitch. We're here to win. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit. I think we're a little tight. Okay. All right, purple party super majority for the as long as everybody can see. Mike shows you how to draw districts. The purple party shall never lose. Okay. Gerrymandering is great. Okay. I'm going to show you motherfuckers something you need to know, which is that I'm not here because your idea about fair districts, I don't give a fuck about your dumb fair district idea. That's some bullshit lib shit you made up. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to seize power for the working class. What's that mean? I fucking win. That's what that means. Okay, let's get going. Okay. All right, 9 districts of 15 hexagons each. All right. So the first thing that we want, how many purple districts? Okay, 2 of mostly minority. All right, so right off the bat here, I see 5 purples. How close can we get it? Is 8-6 good? Like, I feel like, I want to start. I feel like I want to make everything 8-6. Why don't you isolate the purple all into one group? Because that's bad. Oh, the district wasn't done. Okay. Compact and minority. Okay, good. Actually, we'll go with that. All right. That's compact. Like, this is so fucking, like, we're going to show you how you do this shit. Okay. I have an idea. I could make a majority minority district that is also purple, but all the minorities are yellow, or like almost all of them are. Oh, damn. Okay. Fuck. Hold on. Wait, can I go back to a previous? Oh, fuck. Can we go back to a previous district? I feel like this should not be a minority district. This one's not going to be. I want to make as many compact ones as I want to make as many. I keep like right clicking and it's bringing up that. Sorry about that, chat. Calm down. I'm not done. No. This district, I want to erase this district and start for the bottom right. It's like, see, the key here is I don't want to have tentacles until I really need to have tentacles. And so this district right here, I kind of want to start for the bottom right, because this is such a tight, like, you have a district like this right here is a problem. This right here is a problem because yellow on the border is going to cause me to have tentacles. So I should start from here so I don't have tentacles, so I have more compactness. Okay. We're trying to avoid long tentacles. Like these are not long tentacles. These are good. This is just like a short tentacle. So I don't want to have like a long, if I could avoid it, spaghetti shit. Okay, wait, hold on. I don't know about this one. This one I might have to change, but we'll see. Okay, now we could go for a minor. So do you see how this is? This was compact, right? Or was it not considered compact? They were all considered compact so far, right? You need tentacles. No, I'm trying to avoid as many tentacles as I can. I don't want tentacles if I could avoid it. Okay, so we have another problem area here. So I want to make this a minority district. Oh, this is so good. Okay. Yes. Was I close? No. Okay, I didn't quite get there. This will be another minority district. Okay. Beautiful. Wait, what was the exact breakdown there? Okay. So 1, 2, that was 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, now we need this will be a minority district, I think. I think we can get a minority district here. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. No. Was that a minority district? Did we get enough? That's a little tentacly, but it's not too bad. How many minorities did we need? 8 minority? 8. Oh, okay. Okay, good. So we'll get rid of that guy. Oh, wait, hold on. There you go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want 7 yellows in every box, right? I mean, this is pretty good so far, chat. We're kind of killing it. We're kind of killing it right now. All right, so we need these 4. And then we should come over here. Now we need more yellows. Boom. And then it should be easy from here on in. He failed? He didn't do that? Make me in charge of districting. We will have no Republicans in any blue state. Did you guys see how not only did I fucking kill it, not only did I do minority districts, they were fucking compact as fuck. They were compact as fuck. I can make them more compact, honestly. You've created the maximum possible of districts for your party. Your party has fully expanded its power, but this is not so good for fair. Oh, fucks have hexapolate. Your districts might not be compact enough to avoid lawsuits. Okay. I mean, obviously, I want to get more compact. What do they do? What do they say is compact? Like, what makes something compact? I wasn't sure I understood their compactness. Because, like, if you look, oh, fuck. If you look at my map, oh no, I didn't screenshot my map. Okay, well, we have it on the mod. We have it. Oh, now I'm yellow party. Fuck. Okay, we'll do yellow party. We can just screenshot it from the mod. It's fine. It can't have a tail of more than 1 hexagon. Okay, I mean, 9 out of 9 is easy as fuck. So we gotta try to make it more... Snake-like district shades will make gerrymandering practice more conspicuous. I mean, I don't think I had anything that was super snaky. All the hexes have to have at least 2 sides covered. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, oh, okay, never mind. So like that? Is that compact? Okay, it says compact. Okay. It says compact. Okay, now I understand the game. Now we're cooking. Oh, this one's gonna be a tougher one. This is gonna be a tougher one. Fuck. All right, hold on. If you, the key. Okay, now I understand the compact. The shit's easy. Like, it's easy to get 9 out of 9. Having 9 out of 9 and being compact, that's where the game, that's actually the hard mode. Okay, that's actually the hard mode. First of all, okay, this guy's compact. Okay, this seems like, okay, for the yellow guys, it seems like you want to start off from this top. You want to crack. Okay, so chat, when you're gerrymandering, there's something called cracking and there is packing, right? Now, I'm just cracking because I'm going for the gold, right? Like, I don't have any packed districts because I'm going to get I'm going for every district to be purple, so I'm not doing any packing. But if I was trying to make all my districts like super safe, because I'm doing maximum gerrymandering, but I'm not giving a lot of partisan cushion, right? Like, I'm only going by like a majority of 1. So if anybody flips like to the other party, then you're fucked. So typically you don't want to do that. You don't want to have a super wide but shallow gerrymander. You want to pack. So like, this is packed. No, this is packing, right? Where like you put all of your enemies into 1 district and then bam, it's easy. But I'm going for maximum cracking. It's like me and your mother. I'm going for maximum cracking. I don't want no packing. It's not me and your father. That's another night. So leave my parents alone. They need okay, first of all, they came to me and they said they wanted to spice up their sex life. First of all, they're human beings. They're flesh and blood. They're alive, okay? I'm here to serve. That's my calling. I think that the main thing about the AI of this is it's not as easy, like, because you want to be able to switch between districts, right? And it's like very annoying. I think you should just quickly draw a bunch of districts and then it's easier to like edit them, right? So this is not gonna, this is not good. We don't like this. Maybe we do need to start from. This is the tougher corner. This is the tougher corner. There's the being a yellow legislator is a little bit harder. You know? I feel like I want to come out here. Oh, whoops. Okay, I think I got it. No! Damn it! Oh, it said compact. Yeah, but see, this is just, that's not, we don't want that. We don't want that, chat. No, it's easy to do the math and build from the algorithm. Well, no fucking shit, but we're playing a video game. We're just going off of your vibes. No shit. Of course, you have an algorithmic fucking software and it does it amazing. Mike, if you're trying to make 9 out of 9 yellows, that's impossible. Oh, wait, really? I didn't count the number of, I didn't count. Oh, in that case, time to pack, baby. Time to pack. Yellow is in the minority, which means there will be at least one purple district. Yeah. I mean, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I didn't read, huh? I didn't read enough. I just want to shift. One dot from one district to the other. Why won't you let me? Why do I have to delete entire districts? I just want to shift. I want to shift. No. Okay. I need to take this. I need this and that, but that makes that purple. Fuck. Okay. Okay. So that means for this district, I need that. Fuck. No. Fuck you. All right. Okay. There we go. And then the purple, the packing purple is in the middle. All right, now we're talking. Mike, your districts are too regularly shaped, unrealistic. They need to stake throughout the whole map. I'm going for maximum. I'm doing hard mode, okay? I don't want to just do snakes are easy. I can do snakes in 5 seconds. I want it to be as compact as possible while also cheating, so that people look at the map and go, "Oh, that looks fair." That's the point. Fuck you. There we go. Is that compact? Oh, wait. Damn you. See, like, if you're doing snaky, it's so easy. Like, oh, I may have fucked myself. I may have actually fucked myself. The yellow is a lot harder, but I need to get into this back corner, because I feel like the rules are that it has to be at least 2 thick, right? The one purple pack state doesn't need to be all purple. Well, no shit. This is the most gaming Mike does on stream. Yeah, we already gerrymandered for purple, so we're. I think the key is I want compactness. So that means that how many is this? Let me just finish this. Okay. So if I do this, they're not considering this compact. Why not? Okay, that is compact. Okay. I think I'm getting the hang of the. Oh fuck. I'm getting a hang of the like actual UI, so I can draw faster. Sorry about this, chat. I'm raging over the drawing. The hex needs to touch at least 2 other hexes. Okay. What about that? That they called that compact. Okay. The problem is that I need to drop, like, there's fuck. The Dow Jones is down 400 points. Is it crashing? You got a harder map for this one? Oh yeah, this one is tougher because these are barely gerrymandered. These are barely 8. So like I don't have extra hexes to give up. That's the issue. Like I don't have extra hexes to give up. That's the thing. And I already have a maximally packed purple district. So I'm like making it compact, and it's this one right here, like this is ridiculous. This one needs to go. I mean, like come on, this is crazy. You don't have to pack it exactly like you have it now. True. That is true. We can delete this. I think the general idea is I want to work from the sides that have purple on the edge, because when it's on purple on the edge is harder to split up than purple in the heart, if that makes sense. So I kind of want to draw wedges from the corners that are purple and we're close to minority status. Okay, so we can. Damn. Like this wall, I'm starting to, the wall is actually a bigger problem than I think, because you need to be able to like connect to other yellows. So I think I'm going around this the entirely wrong way, because actually breaking up the wall is more important, like getting a compact connection through the wall. Regional banks are cratering. All right, let's make our minority district. We got our minority compact district. Beautiful. All right, that one's one we needed. Okay, then we have this. going harder. Making everything compact and cheating, it's tough. Mike's finally games and that's this. What do you mean? Mike is gaming while the economy is crashing. Okay, fine. Jesus Christ. Let me look at CNN. We already had a 9 out of 9 purple victory. Uh-oh. Bad loans in the banking industry. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, CNBC.
The pace and scale of artificial intelligence.
Why the AI boom might be a bubble. Tangle web of AI deals. Okay, this is not it. We need CNBC television.
Today.
Where? They don't have a video up about the fucking contagion? God, they're so annoying. Yeah, there's nothing happening in the live.
You want to give me a final? Yeah, Goldman Sachs. Go with that one. Okay. Buy the dip here.
Microsoft earnings in a couple of weeks, better improved margins.
Okay. Who's got Schwab? Is that
I've got
Carrie?
Schwab.
All right.
Yeah, had a really strong quarter, added a
Trying to front run Liz Ann Saunders' appearance?
No, love Liz Ann. She works for them. She could talk about anything. 13 trillion.
The shutdown rolls on. The trade war rolls on. The Russell is still having its best week since 2024. It's up 5%. We're watching that. It is the largest.
So the economy, it's dumping at the end of the day. We kind of had a flat day, and then it just decided to start dumping. Let me see if I can show you guys candles. Let's do some candles. Yeah, some candles. Oh. Okay. I'm not a fundamental analysis guy. I don't like to say that fundamentals are something that you can look at and therefore know what's happening. I'm not saying that, okay? But the one thing they can tell you is the nature of the price action, which gives me the information of like, did it drop suddenly? Like, what is the explanation? And basically what it looks like to me is that this is a spinning top. This means that the bulls and the bears, meaning the optimistic people and the pessimistic people, were buyers and sellers were battling it out throughout the course of the day. And we ended up slightly lower than where we started the day, but there was this wide range. So that means mixed sentiment. And then the next day, we have this like traditionally looking candle, which is it started up here at the top of the candle, and then the price rose a little bit. And then since then, it's almost nonstop negative pressure. So we are near the lows of the day. So yesterday we had kind of like an uneven day, and where bulls and bears were battling each other out. And then today it looks like, recently it looks like, no, selling pressure is winning. Selling pressure is winning, which and people are like, but they're battling through it slowly over the course of the day. It's not like a sudden drop. It is, people are trying to buy against it, but they're being overwhelmed. So for me, sentiment wise, we had last week, we had that big drop where it just like clunk. That's the tariff news from last week on Friday. You could see how it just like falls off a cliff with one red streak. Whereas today it's like you have greens and you have reds. So people are like buying and selling, and it's just like kind of generally trending down. You had a buying period where buyers tried to like battle with the sellers, and then they were overwhelmed, and now it's chunky again. I don't know, man. There seems like a lot of reasons to be pessimistic and not a lot of reasons to be optimistic, and it feels like everybody's already fully invested in these bubble fucking investments. Tomorrow is going to be a massive sell-off. Nobody wants to hold anything over the weekend when Trump could do anything. I mean, I kind of agree with you, dude. Like, people are buying treasury bonds, which means they're fleeing towards safety. So when the yield goes down, and it's like in bonds, chat, bonds are, this is how it works. You give money to the government or a company, and they will make interest-only payments for the term of years. And then at the end of that term, they give you all your money back in one balloon payment. Okay? So when yields go down, that actually means the price of the bond is going up, if that makes sense. Because you could sell that promissory note to somebody else for cash now. And so when the bond yields go down, it means people are willing to pay more for that bond. And so treasuries that are about to expire, treasuries that are to expire at 10 years are having their interest rates go down. That means people think that overall interest rates are going to go down and the economy is getting shittier. That's what that means. When interest rates are going down, that generally means people are saying, I don't think I can make money in other places, so I'm going to buy money from the government because that is riskless. The government can never run out of dollars. Generally speaking, now there's a lot of other nuances to that, but generally when you see bond rates going down, that means people are more pessimistic about the economy. I switched 100% of my Roth to bonds. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't tell me shit like this. I am not your advisor. Okay? Don't tell me shit like this. You're going to fucking have me have a meltdown. I'm going to have a fucking meltdown. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I have got to get going because, you know, TwitchCon and whatnot. Thank you so much. I will be live tomorrow. I'm going to try to have a guest on tomorrow. Somebody, you know, I'm going to try to have somebody come to my hotel room. We'll see if it happens. Okay? If not, it'll just be me. And if you're in San Diego, come say hi. I'll see you around. All right, everybody. Also, make sure if you want more updates, here's the Discord. There'll be updates there. Thank you so much for hanging out. And solidarity forever, my friends. And I'll keep an eye on this crash.